Thank you. Welcome to the first annual Ceras Awards. Can you call it annual?
Why not? Why not?
Does there have to be a second?
They can't prove anything.
It will be annual. It's pre-annual.
Preemptively annual.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. As you can hear, I'm Luke Illingworth, your host, and my co-host. We have Ross Lane.
That's me.
Andrew Warner.
That's him.
Wicked. Right, and to celebrate for the first annual pre-annual Cera Awards, we've got a bottle of Prosecco.
We've got a bottle of Bolly.
Prosecco Carosa. I think it might be Rosé Prosecco.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well, I was going to give you a countdown.
Well, the fireworks have already started in the studio.
I'm shaking.
Now, here we go. Let's top you off.
We've got Will down on the red carpet whilst we sort this mess out. Over to you, Will.
I agree with you guys in there as well. Hello everyone, it's Will on the red carpet outside, hunting down celebrities as you do at a red carpet event. And I can see Andy Serkis over there speaking to Dermot O'Leary. Let's go and interrupt to have a chat. Dermot, just get out of the way, will you? I've told you. Fine. Sorry about that, Andy. So Andy, you're up for so many awards here, and you've even got your own awards category. Can you just tell us a bit about the amazing spate of films that you've been on, and what made you decide to get in on the Coming This Summer team?
The weird thing was like when we finished Lord of the Rings, I just thought I'm going to go back to my career as a normal actor, actor doing stage and film and TV, and then
Coming This Summer
said, "Do you want to play
Olympics?"
And I thought, man, I'm going to go from a 3.5-foot ring junkie to a 25-foot
fire.
And this is the end of typecasting as we know it. This is it.
Well, quite right. When an opportunity comes up like this, I understand you have to go for whatever you can. So. Just quickly, can you tell us a bit more about one of the films that you're in with us? Maybe Olympics, a film set, the Olympics in hell.
I get to wear pants in this movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is a brilliant piece of work. Well, thank you, Andy, very much. It's been lovely speaking to you. I hope that you you definitely will win an award. I can tell you that. But in other categories, hopefully you will as well. Thank you. Oh, and before you just do the voice. Before you go, please just do the voice. You know the one that I mean. You know the one that I did. But please. Oh well, you can't see in there, everyone. But he's walking away, flipping me off. I suppose he's probably been asked to do that voice one too many times. Well, back to you. Thank you.
Oh, that sounds lovely in my ears. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
For a wonderful two series.
How many profit-filled year?
When did we start? Is it a year since we started? Almost a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let's call it a year. So it's also the Ceras and
okay. Thank you, Will, for whatever you did.
Some excellent coverage.
I'm sure they were
top-notch,
illuminating insights into the...
Really,
cheers.
Oh, it's just nothing. Oh,
cheers.
Another cheers.
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 Right, let's get cracking, shall we?
Cheers. Cheers to cracking.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
To cracking on.
Another excellent year in the old Coming This Summer camp.
I haven't had a sip yet.
I'll drink to that.
I'll
cheers
drink to that. Let's have
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to the first
cheers.
sip. That's the first sip.
Oh, cheers.
And the last.
Right.
Who wants to go first?
All right. So explain to them what's happening. What we're going to go.
Well, we've got 12 categories. We've got best title. We've got best episode, best director, most coherent plot.
A very contested
competition.
Best performance by Michael Cera.
Oh no, that's a tough one.
The man of the moment.
I can see him over there grinning. Put your shirt back on, Michael.
There he is, up in the box. Biggest left turn. Best inclusion of poo.
Oh, that's heavily contested.
I mean, that would have been every episode. I think bar 2, because I re-listened to them, and I think there was literally about 2 episodes that don't.
I think the 2 episodes that weren't in there were the 2 episodes that Ross missed.
Well, there we go. I've noticed a pattern's developing.
We have best casting. best casting.
Yeah.
Best film. Film you'd most want to see get made.
Yep.
Oh, no, I thought that just said film you most want to see get. I didn't see it. Made is on the next line.
You want to Bob Seagate.
Yeah. Best mocap by Andy Serkis.
Yep.
A tough one, as usual.
Best poster.
Oh, no, there were some good ones this year.
Some good ones. Best title. We've already had that one.
That's the first. We're about to go. Best title. There was some great titles.
Gone full circle.
Good titles. Let's shuffle it up.
Right.
Lovely. Shuffling up the winners, so we don't know who's going
I'm
for
going
what.
to give it to Wooly D.
Wooly D? Oh, okay. Oh, God, this is...
Woolly rules.
Oh, there's a lot of pressure. It's the first one, right. We'll go straight for the middle. I'm straight down the line. I'm middle road kind of guy. I'm middle road kind of guy. I go for a middle film. Oh! Oh, I shall have a single M&M. Right.
What we got?
Ladies and gentlemen, the first category we'll be awarding a Cera to tonight. It's best film.
Best film. Oh, starting off on the big one.
Best film. This is the Oscars. The Oscars do it at the end. We get it right out of the way.
We ain't the Oscars. There's no fucking.
We ain't pretentious.
So if anyone wants to leave, they can leave now.
Exactly.
If you want to get home early and have a bath.
Exactly. We think of the fans. We think of the fans. Where's my Prosec? There it is. Right,
everyone raise a glass, please.
Cheers.
Let's hear the
Cheers to raising a glass.
Cheers
to raising a glass. Okay.
Cheers.
So best film.
Cheers.
Best film. Right now, I'll need help from my lovely assistants to. What do you want to do? Do you want to take it? Do one each or something?
Wait, I think we can join. We can
join.
You could. We're going to do role play to show you. Because we didn't have real clips from the films, because they don't exist, obviously.
They're all in our head.
We're going to do our best to make this feel like the Oscars. So, like the Oscars, I'm not going to start with a joke.
He's done it.
They call me Woolly Crystal.
Woolly Crystal.
Right, so now guys, best film. And the nominees are... For the first time. The nominees are... That's our roll. Right, okay. Best film. The nominees are... Flibby Bibbits. And the rest of the... You haven't written the rest of the title.
Oh, I don't know. It's too long.
But Flibby Bibbits and our clip.
What happens in that?
I wasn't here for it. That's what I was not present for.
Well,
I'm ill-equipped.
Against this, they're trying to find something that's not magic, so... Oh, everything's magic! Oh no!
That's pretty good. That's good enough. Second nominee, a Sockalypse.
We've got 20 seconds until this thing hits. Damn it! Blow the whole thing up.
Damn it!
God damn! There's a lot of god damning it and slamming fists on tables.
Slamming fists.
A lot of slamming fists. God damn it!
That's what the clip's going to be. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Our third nominee, Time Twirlers. That is the sound of travelling through time that everyone now knows. And fourth, Arrive Alive. I think.
Arrive Alive. It's the Green Cross Codes, you damn kids.
I was trying to do the hedgehog
Oh
song.
no! It's Ian McKellen. And his arch rival, Elon Musk. E10N Musk. And our final nominee tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Friends, the movie. A Series 1 favourite.
Could I beam it? What did?
I knew there was going to be, could I beat? That's the only thing he's trying to say.
I was trying to do a Jennifer Aniston impression.
Yeah, what she do?
She just goes, oh,
I'm murdering everyone. Oh, that's Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson could guest in there. Okay, right, so now that
I've forgotten them.
So we've got, after all those clips, we've got Flibby Bibbits, a Sockalypse, Time Twirlers, Arrive Alive, and Friends the Movie. Are you hearing that? What excites you guys? What do you remember fondly that you think is deserving of the best film of the series?
See, the more I think about it, the more I thought... Because I always thought Time Twirlers, but I think that would be a good TV show.
Well, yeah, it would be like Quantum Leap because you've got so many different eras.
Each episode is a different story.
But then should it be penalised for that? Because it's a great film
That's
as well.
That's what I mean.
But it could be a film that spins off into a TV series. It's got
Like
It's got franchise ability.
It's got the possibilities.
Yeah, it could be like the Dark Tower.
Yeah. It's like Will when he came in and was eating the carrot. Yeah, I think the Time Dwellers is always like when I re-listened, because you re-listened to them as well, didn't you? It was one of my favourites to listen back to. Because when you can hear the gears turning from the start, and then it just gets funnier. Each idea we kind of expanded on.
Yeah, was that one that we started struggling? It was a struggle at the start.
Well, at the time, it was the George Lucas one that ended up becoming one of my favourite ones.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about a director. Originally, the idea was a director was going to go back in time and could either make Phantom Menace, or I think the original idea might be go back and tell George Lucas not to make Phantom Menace. It was more like going out and meeting someone. Then it became going back and when we started turning into stuff, turning into the film reel.
Yeah, you go to film it, and it was it to make the ultimate sacrifice? Like, would you kill yourself?
It's because we established the rules of the only way you can travel through time is you need to be able to move. He was an inanimate object. He was a piece of film stock, and the only way that he could travel back in time was if he was played.
Yeah.
And so he could either sabotage himself somehow. I don't know how that works, because in the logic of that, he can't move to sabotage himself. But anyway, the idea was that he could just about move enough to burn it, like catch himself on like the heat of the light or something, and burn up. Or he plays, and then so saving people from the Phantom Menace, or he plays it, goes home, but it means that the world still has the Phantom Menace in. And that came out of like nothing. That was like the worst bit of the film, and then it became like the best. My favourite bit of the film.
So it was good as well because it starred us, didn't it? This one.
I think I wasn't present for this.
Yeah, you was.
Was I?
Yeah,
you were there.
It was us and Will, I think.
Because what was it? There was Will turned into a cow.
Yeah, because he's a meat eater.
You turned into the film reel.
Yeah, that's right.
What did I turn into?
Were you one of you was like the doomed romance? There was a doomed romance, wasn't there? Like the Forever War style.
So, yeah, and then didn't you come back and use a stick?
Maybe, I don't remember.
Yeah, someone was the stick, and that was like the thing that brought it all the way around.
We was using to spin to
select the time.
Yeah, that's what we were using. Oh, because you had to use a stick, then you had to get busy.
Your forehead.
Go back in time.
Fuck yeah, no, it's all coming back now.
Yeah.
And that was you.
That was the framing device, because that was the thing. You wouldn't see that until that was the last story, and it would be the first thing you saw. They travelled back with this stick.
Oh my god.
Well, that's Time Dwellers is it?
Well, I have no recollection.
I've got.
It sounds great.
I think Friends the movie. I think that was a good idea.
That's hilarious. I particularly enjoyed that one.
Because it's misleading title as well.
Yeah, we do like pissing people off. That's quite good.
Yeah, that would piss a lot of people off, and that's definitely a plus point.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure what other categories these might fit into. Like Flippy Bibbits. I was surprised by how. It's not super coherent, but I know what that story of that film is. It's actually surprisingly coherent for what. For how we start. It was another one like. It was the first one post Destiny, and I remember it was hard to get into, trying to come up with stuff again. So hard, but then it when it did come,
post
like
Destiny slump.
we didn't really have concrete ideas for like everything, but we knew what the story was. It was the world is full of magic, and instead of the one they need to find the most magic, and they need to find the one thing that isn't magic to save the world, which is a pretty great idea.
Because everyone was scared to touch anything in case it turned them into a fucking alien.
You got a screwed up piece of tissue with loads of dried snot in it that could just destroy the whole world.
Yeah.
So, Apocalypse, that was the second episode.
The Apocalypse, that was a
third
hell of an episode though.
The first one was pre-Tash, then Olympics, which is I'm actually sad to see Olympics not long because it's one of my favourite episodes. It's got it introduced many classic. It introduced
buddy cop.
It introduced the first Andy Serkis casting, which
As everything.
and it's got some of my favourite Andy Serkis roles because he was directing. He was also playing the Flady.
He played
everyone.
He was the fire in the background.
He was the
as well.
fire, the ultimate role, which I definitely considered nominating for, but I thought no one else would like nominate, so he wouldn't get nominated for it.
I'm pretty sure I nominated him for
Did you?
Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, but like specifically, I think I
Was the
Flady.
yeah. Oh my god.
And then he was playing like someone like Val Kilmer playing something. Like all of these people, he was playing someone
playing something.
the part, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm sad for not seeing this list. I hope it's got some love somewhere. And then Arrive Alive, I think that was one
I don't
that
remember this one.
I think that's a pretty solid episode.
That was like, was it Uber the musical? It was playing.
Oh
hot off
no,
the
that
heels
was
of that
Confirmed
one.
Pickup.
That's it. Oh, yeah.
Arrive Alive was the Green Cross Crow.
That was where you had fucking what's his name, Michael Fassbender as the last person who knew about the Green Cross.
Michael Fassbender was playing the older one, and Ian McKellen was playing the younger version of the character.
Wasn't it like there was like self-sufficient cars or something, but then they started fucking up?
Yeah,
it's that there were self-sufficient cars
everyone.
because he wasn't it. I can't remember what we landed on in the end because the first idea was that he was this only person who cares about Green Cross Code. And he was annoyed that...
It was at London Transport Museum.
Yeah.
And he was the last... And they were going to shut it down because no one cared about the Green Cross Code.
And then he became like a messianic figure.
Yeah,
like,
because all the self-driving cars
started to
going
fuck
wrong.
up, and he was the only one who knew.
He was
the only one who could tell them how they could cross the road.
That was. Well, that's great.
So that came originally. He started. The funny thing is, like, he started off as like a villain character. We were initially thinking it's in a future
he's
world.
Sabotage everything.
Yeah, he was going to sabotage because he's so angry about it.
Oh,
but then he became.
He turned into this John Connor-esque messiah for humanity.
We gave him like that tragic backstory that he's like got this wife who really hates him, like belittles him because he's just got this job at the transport museum. I think she belittles him and she's like bedridden, so he has to do everything. He has to go out like with this whole backstory. He was in love with the nurse who was like the only good person in his life, and then that became she got captured by the main bad car, who I still picture as Bender as the werecar from Futurama, and there was Elon Musk. Was it Elon Musk consciousness in it?
E105, NU5K.
Another good. It was a deceptive good mention of Michael Cera as well because he was the voice of all of the cars.
Yeah.
And then also we made. I think one of the endings, because all the endings we had multiple ones that I noticed as I listened back because we never fully decided. But I think the ending I liked the most was that I think the cars were all replaced, or there was in this universe there was Johnny 5 robots, and then the humans. I think the humans got them to help. They helped the humans against the cars, and then they would like carry the humans across the road and stuff like that. By the end, all of the cars were replaced by Johnny 5, and they were all voiced by Michael Cera. So I think that's right.
That was fucking great.
That was well good.
Right.
I don't know. Do you want after all that? Because we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about them later to an extent.
Do you want to make your predictions? I know because I had to.
So Ross, what do you think of these ones? Who of our, I guess, are
we could do the whole thing, and like we'll score, so you can get the most right.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
So Drew versus Ross.
Drew, go on.
I think
you can go for the same one.
Oh, I think Time Twirlers is going to win. I think that was. I don't know. Yeah, I think Time Twirlers.
I'm gonna go for a Socolypse just on a misguided bit of personal nostalgia.
That's true. We didn't talk about Socolypse much though. That was a great episode.
I mean, it's basically it was combining the excellence of Armageddon with the hilarity of Socks.
Yeah,
and then wasn't there something to do with pants as well?
Yeah, there was the whole pants thing. They were going to fire Socks into the pants. There was that guy, Project Achilles. And it was they had to like redirect that to like annihilate the massive ball of shitty pants.
There was also like a little subplot of Michael Cera playing a character called Sock.
Oh, I can't remember that.
And he was like obsessed with socks. He was obsessed with socks. And when he like trying to find like a date so he can make him by the end he's like a pair of socks. It's him trying to find a girlfriend.
Stupid.
I can't even remember that. Was that in the episode? Or did you cut it out?
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Sock. Now that does sound familiar.
I remember the sort of evil Wernstrom-like character in it who had like socks. He had like socks pulled all the way up to his pants.
Yeah, that's it. Cause, oh fuck! Wait, is this the one where the guy took over his father's sock making factory? Yeah, because there was that whole thing as well about him trying to like kind of deal with the demons of his past. But like this project Achilles was like to just make a giant sock that like everyone could go in or something like that.
Exactly.
Fucking, oh my god, it's so good.
That was good.
It's so good. Oh
right. Okay.
Yeah, a sock.
So Socklips is Ross's pick, and
my
now,
number sock.
ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna see who the winner is.
Oh.
Drum roll, please. Right. It's hard to open. Oh, they're lovely cards.
Yeah, good cards.
Lovely cards.
Yeah, they've got cards.
I wish the listeners at home could see the quality of this card.
Look at that! Oh my god, it actually is.
It's time twirlers.
Oh,
time twirlers.
Well
I can
done.
see why. Well done,
Time
well done,
twirlers.
bravo, well done. Time twirlers. Now, would you like to all come up on stage and we'll realise that we picked.
Oh, it's starring us, wasn't it?
Oh,
So this is-
yeah.
We'll accept this
Well
one.
done, guys. Will's behalf.
Who should we thank? Let's thank Will. 'cause
Let's
he's not
thank
here.
Will South.
He's on the red carpet.
Thank God Will's not here.
He's out
Thank
there.
God.
Yeah.
I can see him. He's getting
out-
punched up
He's
by
out in the
security.
freezing cold.
He's getting punched up. Look at him. God, that's a hell of a right hook.
Oh, right, I'm going to keep holding
And
this
he's
so
on
I
the
know
floor.
that
He's on the floor.
Fucking Jessica Chastain's pissed again.
Chastain, what a piss
Fucking
head.
Chastain.
Right, I'm going to keep holding this so
Thrown
I can
up
keep
in the
this
gutter.
keeping score.
It was 1-0 Drew.
1-0 me. Right, okay.
Next.
Ross up, or are you going to do one, Phil, now?
Nah, let's do Ross.
Alright,
Roberto.
that's me. I'm going to have this one because you shuffled all the other ones, but I just saw this one in the middle sticking out.
Yeah, I tricked you.
He's very bloody
What
Darren
is it?
Brown him.
What is it?
Biggest left turn.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
that's a very apt sound to make for
Are we
the
going to have
first
to do? Are we
nominee.
going to have to do clips?
Should we try and do... We'll see if we can do the left turn.
Yeah.
So, if you do where we started, and then
And you go where we go.
Steamroll in with what happened.
All right. Okay.
Okay, this is
We're
good.
going to try and do it as quick fire as possible.
Right.
This is going to go good. It's going to go good.
It's
Right,
gonna go
so
good.
are you ready? Are you prepared?
Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
Biggest left turn. Booteries.
I can't remember how this was.
It's the ghosts in the batteries.
Was that the left
Yeah, I
turn
know
in
that's
it?
what happened, but what was the left turn?
I'm pretty sure it's like someone found their son in a
left-
battery.
Well, that was one of the best bits of it.
Okay, that's that one.
Right.
Nailed it.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. American Wedding Pact. You're invited.
Oh my God! Well, that was there was two kids. They made a pact when they were younger.
Lovely kids.
Well, they weren't lovely kids. The hair and the swings.
Murder!
The dress. There we go. Done. Left turn. Next.
Bon garçon.
Well, there's this land where the dogs can talk to each other and they're cooking up a storm. They're trying to harvest, but they're just not succeeding. Oh my God! Murder! Oh, put them in pies. Eating stuff.
Nice.
Right. Okay.
Arrive alive.
Oh, and there's this guy. He's working at the bloody transport museum,
Okay.
and then the car comes along.
Accidental death!
Accidental murder.
Time twirlers.
Oh, there's this stick. It's laying on the ground, like getting it's laying on the ground. They
I'm a cow! You're a cow!
Oh, you're Star Wars. Right.
Excellent.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's discuss
Right.
these films then.
Booteries
I'm
was
trying to
fantastic.
That was a good episode.
I think Booteries is awesome, but I don't know what a left turn
That
is.
was
Hideous
like
and heartfelt and
But was that
wonderful.
the left turn?
But it was as soon
not the
as like
twist.
the word batteries came out, that's when. Maybe it was just a left turn because can you remember what the words were? We all picked a word out of a book, didn't we?
I guess.
I think it was batteries. I think batteries is one of them. But
Wasn't it something that was in your desk and you had, or in your drawer?
No,
you had, like,
because
in the drawer?
we did this
We were-
one live.
we were at ours.
Oh, because I
We-
remember this one
yeah.
started
Shane's
with
got it, isn't it?
the 5 second fondle.
This did
They all
start.
just filled each other up for 5 seconds.
bundle.
Maybe-
I remember.
Maybe that was the
How
left
could I
turn.
forget?
The left turners that went from a 5-second fondle to an episode of podcasting.
We were just going to record a porno, and then all of a sudden it turned into an episode.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, well maybe the left turn comes from because it did start out just being like animated batteries, didn't it? Just sort of trying to
And
find.
then it turned out that's where they were,
No,
catching
they were
the
trying
ghost
to-
catchers. There was the ghost. There was
Oh, we got
fucking
with
guy
Mitch
playing-
Macy.
Yeah, with his fucking net catching ghosts in a fucking graveyard to put in
well, that's what,
batteries.
yeah, because it started off as just sort of like they just wanted to. The batteries just wanted to fulfil their purpose, wasn't it?
Which is
was
to
to run.
drain,
And once
yeah.
they run out of life, that's when they can go on to heaven.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, oh, it's
Cheap
actually
for this
people's
fucking
spirits
Souls.
inside this battery.
Unless
And
they get used up and they never go to heaven.
Yeah, when
Oh my
when
God.
you throw your batteries away halfway through using, that's purgatory for
Yeah.
batteries and stuff.
Yeah,
And then we had the double D batteries that were like body.
Bad
we had all
Terry.
bad Terry, and the charger was the charger was the baddie
Yeah.
because you don't want to be a rechargeable
rechargeable, yeah, 'cause
battery
you're here
'cause you
forever.
never go in.
Because what was the thing? Wasn't there the two batteries that were in the?
It was.
TV
It ended
remote.
up being four. We ended up
Four
doing as
TV
four
remote.
batch. No, not that we had them split up.
Four
We
separate
We had
stories,
different
wasn't
stories.
there?
There were 4 in the same batch at the battery
Oh,
factory,
yeah, yeah,
and then they
yeah.
went off, and one of them had a love interest in the TV remote. Oh, one of them was that one that was like a child. We decided like little batteries
watch
were like
battery.
a child's soul and stuff like that.
Oh, little watch
It was
batteries,
horrible,
yeah.
wasn't it? And that was the one. That was Michael Cera's appearance.
Excellent.
He was the voice.
Oh,
He was the voice
right.
of the child's
The awkward
in the batch.
child battery.
And then there was another one. There was another one that was going to be made into a recharger. I can't remember. One of them committed suicide because their acid could destroy the charger. He sacrificed
like the
himself.
samurai death, didn't he?
And one of them ended
opened
up
his guts
Destroy
up.
the fucking charger.
One of them was special, and he could talk. He managed to talk to. He put himself in like in a main on a TV station. He plugged himself in.
Wasn't that someone's fucking dead daughter? And they started talking to their family.
Oh no, that was after the one of the batteries went into like a supercharger and sort of sacrificed themselves so that another one could go on TV and tell everyone that batteries were the souls of people. And then it like cut back to this little girl or something, and she had like a Fisher Price phone, and she was like cause the whole film she'd been saying that her grandmother was in there, and so the parents finally listened to her or something like that. It was so fucking stupid.
That's
but
amazing.
it was
God, I
great.
could totally see that being made by Pixar.
That was our Pixar film. That was it was Sausage Party, but I think it got almost Pixar level of deepness
Heartfelt
to it.
and
touchingness, heartfeltness.
Heartfeltness. So that was the first one.
I think that was the left
What's
turny
the
one.
next one?
American Wedding Pact. You're invited.
Oh, that was
Well, because I remember
surprise
this
good
one.
one, I
'cause
thought.
That was fucking
when I
great.
came up with the idea, the original thing was about 2 kids. They make a pact that if neither of them are married when they're 40 or 50 or whatever,
yeah.
they will marry each other, just so then they know that they won't be alone. And I said, okay. And then what happens is the girl flourishes, and the boy wants to stick with the girl. He wants to marry the girl,
Yeah.
so he wants her to just not get any boyfriends and that. And then that's when the left turn came, because I said there's 2 ways we can go about this. We can go the sort of funny, charming way, where he's just ruining the dates and all that stuff, or he can kill the people.
Yeah.
And you know what we did?
Brutal.
The whole thing of American Wedding Pact is we had our cake and we ate it too. And everything. Because he started off like that,
Yeah.
and then he accidentally killed, or he lost it with a fiance who was saying that he was like
Yeah, 'cause
he was trying to get to know, like he'd been sabotaging him and that hadn't worked, and they had that night before the wedding where the fiance was like, oh, you're one of her oldest friends, let's get together, like, and they got drunk, and then he started talking about how he slept around and stuff, so he killed him, and then it started his
And that's when
he thought he might as well keep killing them.
That's when he
It goes
realised
from a comedy to a horror.
That's easier solution than just like putting laxative in the curry or whatever.
But we also had this one we couldn't decide because we were kind of bored of it, making it like we were thinking about it could be boring if it's like a boy girl. Maybe it should be reversed, and the girl is the one who kills it. And then it was like maybe it should be like a boy and a boy and a girl and a girl, and we're like, well, we've cast about 4 different people,
and then every act
they could
changes.
they could make 4 different versions of this film, and it could like
Who did we?
it was
Michael Cera.
Brie Larson.
Scarlett Johansson.
No, Brie Larson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Brie
Scarlett
Larson.
Johansson was
Michael
first about.
Fassbender, yeah.
Fassbender,
Michael Cera,
and Kristen
and Kristen
Charles.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
And every combination of each that you
Yeah.
could possibly get.
And then Ewan McGregor Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson were going to be the fiancés in the film. Like, depending if you want the guy Ewan McGregor, if you want the girl Scarlett, because we said we thought they were smug.
I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was the fiance. Well, I thought you said the guy from Korn.
That's right. Yeah. Jonathan Davis.
The fiance was going to be Jonathan Davis from Korn.
I wish it was. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was one I went back to, and I couldn't really remember very well, but when I re-listened, it was one of my favourites.
Who was in?
thoroughly
Was that
enjoyed.
us three?
That was us three. Yeah. There was a good little run of like, not ones that don't jump out immediately, like time travel and stuff, but like that and Nan and Grandad. I really liked Nan and Grandad.
That's fucking.
I remember that title just came up at the end. That's one of those ones where the title just completely sealed the deal. It was
Fucking Nan and Grandad.
so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
The classic Bon Garçon. Oh,
that was one full of left turn. I don't know how we got onto Bon. I think we chose words for this one as well, didn't we?
it was like there was. Because I remember there being dog.
There was
Or something.
There was heavy or something because we almost did something.
shit,
He was
yeah, we
like
had
listen to
two
heavy
red-
metal Thrasher
Oh.
because we were like he could be called Thrasher.
Oh, but then there's already a film called like Rock Dog.
Yeah, that was. I think that was kind of the left turn. We were talking about him being like a rock star or something, and then it went into
Ratatouille.
what if he was like Ratatouille? Yeah, and then it had another left turn, so almost really deserving with it.
Rather
Then the left
than
turn was then it became Sweeney Todd, and then it became Goodfellas Sweeney Todd, and then it became that he came out to his humans at the end and tried to get them to. He had to go. The only way he could stop them was by leaking the news of the dog's private society to the humans, so that because he couldn't kill them, he couldn't enact violence. Then he had to leak the news to the humans,
Like
and it was I think James Franco or Michael Cera was his owner.
Yeah.
And then the little dogs, the gangster dogs, all had little mini hoovers. They had little dustbusters for guns, didn't they? You remember?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's so good.
So fucking scary to death.
Isn't that how
dogs hate hoovers, of course.
Isn't that how they killed the Joe Pesci character? Because there was like there was an older guy who was like,
Is that like a little pug or something?
There was like a rival because there was the rival restaurant, and he was leaking information to the rival restaurant that they were killing. Oh, it's because they're killing humans. Weren't
Yeah, that's it.
they're killing their owners.
Started killing, yeah.
And he was leaking it to that, and he got whacked.
With a dustbuster.
I think Bon Garçon was just like everything was like we kept changing our mind, but in like a good way. Like we put something in that would work, and then we were like, nah, actually, then it becomes this, and because it was almost like not changing it from the start. They literally just start like it was like the main character's the brother, but then actually the main character's going to be his little brother, who's the hero, because our big brother goes in too deep. All of it was
Stallone, like the boss.
That boxer, was it the boxer dog?
The boxer.
That was, yeah, that was.
I think
then it was Tom Hardy,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal were the
main
brothers.
ones. Joe Pesci was the old one.
Yeah, Stallone was their dad.
Michael Cera was the owner. Classic Michael Cera.
Of course.
I just love how on topic everything in Bon Garçon was. It was all dog related.
Bon Garçon,
and all
what a
excellent.
fucking
Good
name.
boy.
Yeah, I think that's because we're Goodfellas, and you're like
Good boy. The name for that alone is I think that alone is the fucking greatest.
that's got to be on the nominee for the best
That is
title.
way up
I hope
there.
so.
Way up there. Oh.
No, it's been robbed. It's robbed of
Robbed
it.
of me. Robbed of me.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Arrive alive again.
Arrive.
Well, what more can we say? The left
What was
turn.
the left turn of this?
I think it was finding out that Elon Musk was behind the self-driving car revolt.
I think you're right.
I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I think the left turn was that he became sentient.
Yeah,
because at the start it's just that they were. I don't know if he was even in the start, but like the cars were fucking up, and then it probably cuts to like a factory where he's the prototype or something.
Was it like a transformer or something? Like the car turned into him, or was it?
No, I think he just put his consciousness. He just was
a car. That's better. Yeah, that's far better.
I think and he was just like, I don't know if we established it, but maybe he was like the first car that all of the other ones are based off, because there had to be some reason that he became sentient. But then he started controlling all the other cars. Or was he? I can't remember. Maybe he was. Or if we didn't, we should do it. He should have been. That should have been part of his elaborate plan, fucking up all the cars. He was trying to take out the humans, but this guy is getting in his way, and now he has to. Now he has to show that he's been sentient for a long time, but he's been controlling it from behind the wings, and then he needs to take control and get rid of this menace.
I love
the Green Cross Man.
Michael Fassbender has the invulnerability code against the cars because he knows how to cross the road.
Exactly.
He can never be killed because he knows how to cross the road.
Do you remember the big action scene of the film? Is that Elon Musk has got his the nurse girlfriend, captured her, and he's across a really busy motorway. And then instead of running out senselessly, Michael Fassbender goes, "No, I shall use the green cross code." And he walks all the way down. Yeah, he walks all the way down to like a traffic light, and which is ages away.
Blows the dust off.
He's not going to try and run out there. He's like, "I'm not going to cross the road." That was our big action set piece.
This is him patiently waiting.
Exactly.
Oh my
It's like really intense.
Yeah, it's just him. Yeah. And he's not running. He's also very sensible. He's not running because he's not overexerting himself. I need to be in control of my faculties.
He looks left.
I don't want to be sweaty, for a battle.
I need to arrive alive.
Exactly. And then I think he defeated him by. It was like some sort of like CPU malfunction. Like the car read the green cross code, and I don't know, he melted down because of some internal robot logic, and then he couldn't process it, and then they had I guess it could almost be a left turn. We had a bit of a post-credits thing where it goes, there's a Godzilla 98 where it goes into his little chassis, and then Elon Musk's lights up green. And so the sequel's coming.
He's managed to fathom the green cross code.
Yeah.
Nobody is safe.
Yeah, Arrive Alive. Getting a lot of love.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's way up there.
It's a good one. Second nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one, Time Twirlers.
Time Twirlers.
Yeah,
How
What
did
to
this
say about
one
Time
start?
Twirler? Didn't Will or someone just start talking about? We started talking about poo sticks, didn't we? Like playing like poo, like the game poo sticks.
I think
not
it's
sticks
something
of
you
poo.
used to scrape
Talking
shit
about
off
like
your
some game.
Yeah.
I
Talking
can't
about like
remember
spinning
anything
around.
about Time Twirlers. The more you talk about it, the more I remember it. But I don't think I was ever in this one. But I just can't remember.
You definitely were.
I can't
Yeah.
fucking remember anything
Definitely
about
were.
it. That's the only problem when you drink when you're doing these
I know,
things.
yeah, it just goes. Yeah, I mean, even after listening to it again, I can't remember how I think that's why it's such a good left turn, because it just came out of nowhere.
Can't remember. So
I think it was talking about like spinning around.
Left turn.
Oh no, it's so good. We don't remember how it started. It went to something completely different.
I'll top you off.
Thank you. It went to something so completely different that we can't even remember where it started, which I think is the best left turn.
That's it. That's the best left turn to have, really, like you say.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember Time Twirlers for its left turn, whereas Bon Garçon. I remember.
That's a
I
hell of a
remember
left
that
turn.
there was. I can't remember what it was though.
I had notes on my. I wish I had my old phone on me. I had
A
notes
single
on it about all
bottle
these
of champagne
episodes.
provided for the series is now gone.
Yes.
We're well on our way.
Our budget of champagne is of
Of a
champagne
single
is
bottle.
gone.
11 quid that was.
Cool. I can taste every penny.
Right. I think.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think we should cheers to. Oh wait.
Who do you think wins?
Who's gonna win?
I'm gonna. I might say Booteries.
Burgeries?
I'm gonna go for Bon Garçon.
Nice.
Even if it isn't, I don't know if it will be, but I think
Nice.
when we talked about it, I feel like it deserves the left turn.
It does. Isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bon Garçon. I like that actually. Although Booteries did have that real heart wrenching bit, but let's find out. I just can't decide. They were just too great. Some real strong contenders this year. Real strong contenders.
Pretty strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you put your paws together for American Wedding Face? You're invited.
Nobody wins.
Oh,
Well, apart from we win.
In fairness,
That's another award for us.
that's
Well, that makes absolute sense because that did have the comedy to a stark, hideous, fucking Silence of the Lambs-esque horror.
Yeah.
So I mean that does make
like
the most sense.
constant because we had that scene at the start as well where he was talking,
like
they're on the phone
whilst he's suffocating.
Yeah, and it was all really breezy
yeah.
and light, and then you just see that he's it's like American Psycho or something, wasn't it? And then he starts talking to the camera, and then it cuts to them as kid. So. Yeah, actually, I think I got so excited I forgot that one.
That's if you got so whimsical. That's I would say.
Worthy.
I would say.
The next category is whilst Ross eats a prawn cracker.
Oh, it's a great film.
Best mocap by Andy Serkis.
A hotly contested category. What? How did you narrow it? Well, how did we narrow this down to 5? Because there's so many.
Well, there's 4. I think a lot of people voted for the same one.
There's actually a lot of ones when I listened back to them. Because I wasn't sure if I could include them because there's a lot of ones we said that he demanded that he not be in mocap, which were particularly good. Like to the point of murder, where he's playing a kid and he demanded not to be in mocap.
Yeah.
And then also one where he played a dog. I can't remember what film it was, but he demanded. That was Trim.
So he's not mocap.
And he demanded that he was just dressed as a dog.
He was just like stood up normal. Right, okay, let me do the nominees.
That's Aaron.
So the nominees for Best Mocap by Andy Serkis are Olympics as everyone.
And everything.
Oh bother.
Mmm.
What was he? No bother.
Was he the bear? No, we got a real bear for Oh Bother.
He might have just been the honey. He just wrapped around everybody like.
Who was Andy Serkis in that?
I don't know.
I thought Jim
Oh
Carrey.
Bother, Oh Bother was so hard to follow.
Jim Carrey was everyone, and then there was a real bear. Maybe we. Yeah, it was a real bear.
That was impossible.
I'm going to say that one loses.
I should have done a bit more research. To the Point of Murder, where he plays.
The dog.
A kid.
No, the kid.
The kid.
Not in mocap.
And
disqualified.
Trim. A dog in
Woof.
Trim.
Woof. Wait, a slightly London accent.
God, Trim's fucking great.
Barky Woof.
Barky Woof.
Barky
Bark.
Barky Growl.
Growl at you.
Well, even before we go down the list, surely Olympics. Because he played everyone.
And the fire in the background, it was never so great.
No one. I've seen people play fire. I've seen Benedict Cumberbatch play fire. He was fine. He was a fine fire.
Fine fire.
But he was no Andy Serkis.
But he's a lot more subtle fire, I found.
What? Serkis?
Andy Serkis had that inner flame.
He had a real ember to him.
Flailing around and
swaying from backwards to forwards,
just like,
endlessly.
No, calm it down, mate.
No.
This is a smouldering fire.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're being a raging fire.
There's different levels of fire.
It's a gentle, it's a slight rumble of fire.
When will you just get it for your head, Cumbers? That
Come
no
on,
means
Cumbers.
no.
You little prick.
You dick.
Sort it out, would you?
Shercock.
Just sort it out.
Who did he play in Oh Bother?
Oh, fuck, I wish I still had my notes on me.
Bees?
What, are you saying beads?
Beads.
Bees?
Michael?
Maybe he did play the bees.
Oh, maybe,
There
yeah.
were kids. Was he playing a kid? Again? Because I mean, we just put him in
Playing
Well, there
with
was-
the kids.
Oh no, it was Channing Tatum, wasn't it? There was like geeky kids.
And then there was jocks.
There
But the
was
main
Jock.
one was geek.
Michael Cera played the head of the jocks, didn't he?
That's right, and he played against type. Maybe Andy Serkis was the lead geeky
There
kid.
was
Played against.
there was a policeman, but that was Tommy Wiseau.
That was Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, because he had spoons that could eat the honey. But then we didn't actually use that then because we just said a bear cave. Maybe there's.
Oh, Father was the fucking stupidest.
So stupid.
That was the most ridiculous. That was the most
So
ridiculous. Digital
fucking
honeys.
stupid.
How did we get
He
to
must
digital
have to- he must
honeys
have
like
to
our
play-
honey house?
Oh, yeah, he had the fucking digital prostitutes
And then-
fucking all out.
And then we had to. It's like as soon as that came out, we were digging ourselves out of a hole. It's like, how do we not make this really sexist? And they were like, oh, well, the geeks are gonna help them break away from their pimp.
Yeah.
Maybe he was the pimp.
Weren't they selling like Pokemon cards?
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
ghost
To get
prostitute.
Bitcoin. He
Just
was,
Bitcoin so they could pay for prostitutes.
But then they were all gonna help the digital honeys get their business started so that they could get out from under the pimp. And so they were showing them how to set up a website or something to get. But I don't fucking know.
My brain hurt when we made it. It's hurting even more.
I feel like maybe
it's amazing.
I feel like maybe Andy Serkis was maybe mentioned as being the bear. But I'm pretty sure we landed on it being a real bear because Jim Carrey said he needed to fight the real bear.
I can't even remember.
And he did it right at the beginning and got mauled.
The rest of the film is absolutely shredded.
Yeah. But maybe he was I don't know. I think that's just. Hope Bother was worth a mention because it's probably the stupidest single episode
without a doubt.
ever done.
That was really,
I find it was
really
a lot of the
passionate.
episodes where there was 5 of us.
That was 7.
Was there 7
that
of
is
us?
that was Idea Central. That was.
Maybe it wasn't. It was
Us 3, Jack, was
Will,
there?
David, yeah.
There's 6 of us.
6.
Yeah, that was mad.
6 human brains worth, silly human brains worth of
Very
ideas.
silly.
Flying all over the
But
place.
look at it,
ejaculating on one another.
It's up for an award.
Well, there
It's
we
up
go.
for an award, and that's
Says it all, doesn't it?
always a good sign.
What's the award again? I've forgotten.
Silly,
Best
isn't it?
mocap by
Oh,
Andy
there we
Serkis.
go. Yeah.
And we don't even know what
Okay.
he did in this film.
So the pointless murder. Wasn't
No,
mocap, was it?
No, he was a kid.
He just dressed up as a kid.
But that was good. I can't remember because we had
What was it?
all
Point
of
of Murder was really. I remember that being a great one, but I
That
can't remember
was.
anything
it
about
was
it.
Garfield 3 was out in cinemas, and for some reason it was
It's
making people.
murder each
yeah.
other.
They
yeah.
made such a box
no,
standard.
they were scared. They were becoming
Oh
scared.
fuck yeah!
They were so scared
But
that
they were
they
getting
started.
so scared that they were lashing out. And killing.
Yeah.
Or they accidentally killed because like someone would come to their door and they'd have a shotgun because they'd be afraid and they'd kill
Yeah.
them.
Accidentally,
And then
yeah.
they became the scaredy cats
That
because
was-
they were zombies, but we
Yeah.
couldn't call them zombies because no one can call anything zombies, so they call them the scaredy cats.
The
And they'd group together and make themselves more scared, so the hordes made them more
One of
scared.
So the
my
more
favourite-
scaredy cats they were around, then they turned to escape.
Because they nudge
One of
each other and they go.
One of my favourite lines in there was Tom said when they're just like, "Oh no, he's becoming scared." Had to kill him.
yeah.
It wasn't
He's
like
becoming scared.
It's pretty much like the South Park episode about the sort of homeless
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
like
exactly.
where it's like
But
they
then-
lose all their money and then start going, oh
wasn't like Owen Wilson in it, and there was a bit where he was just
he was a
saying,
radio
he was
presenter.
just saying wow, because in the way he was going wow like that, everyone thought he was turning into a cat.
Yeah.
Wow. They turned into a cat.
He's getting scared. Oh my god.
That was a great.
Doing well.
We had like listening back, like one of the themes of Coming Summer is that we like as many ideas in it as possible. This is another one that's got like 4 sets of characters. We did it like a disaster Roland Emmerich Independence Day style. 4 characters and they converge, but they're all separate stories. We had the kids who were biking across America to get to Hollywood.
They were all played by pensioners.
They weren't played by they were played by like that was Andy Serkis and like Kristen Wiig and like
what's
People
their
who are not
fucking
kids.
name?
No.
Who's that old lady actress? Fuck, what's their name? Is it Joan?
Is it
something?
Murder,
Jessica
She
Lange?
Wrote.
No.
Joan Collins.
Joan
Rivers?
Collins. Yeah, it was Joan Collins. I swear she was one of the kids.
Oh my god. And then we had the parents of the kids who I think were in Hollywood. And then there was the writers working with the government to try and write the 4th film that could cure everyone. And Michael Cera was one of the writers. And I think there was another group of people as well.
They had to
that we
quickly
followed.
finish their film. It wasn't like the morals of the film was let
People make good films.
people
wanna
make the film.
They wanna
make the
make-
film they
But then didn't they have to make something that wasn't the only cure for it, that they can make a film that was so meh that it sorted everyone
Yeah,
out? It was just really.
It was really
they didn't try on Garfield, and something came out that scared everyone. And then they really tried on the next one, and I think everyone else.
Garfield.
Then I think everyone else was
But
just
they-
like, meh, and that
Did
cured
they say
everyone.
that they had to like
Oh,
project it everywhere? Because I just realised, like,
I don't think we-
if
I don't think we
everyone was
did.
if everyone was scared, why would they go to the
The
cinema?
last thing I do is go into
Watch
a
a
dark
film.
room.
That was all Samantha. We were big picture on that
okay.
one.
Well, we fixed it.
You would think- this is what we can use the Ceras for. We
It's the
can
long
fix some
game.
of them as well
To perhaps point out the flaws and come up with
in the award-worthy films. I really think the Oscars could benefit from maybe stopping the award nominations and like critiquing whoever's on there. So it's just whatever actor does. If they don't like that film, they'll start critiquing it.
Well, that was a bit shit, wasn't it?
Wasn't a big fan of Titanic.
Yeah,
that's the only Oscar film that came in my head.
Yeah. Oh, right. Leo. Is there anything you do to make up for that poor act of yours?
Yeah.
Perhaps you'd climb up on that door.
Leo, I say to Catherine, no.
Well, I would have just said
no.
Shift up, Kate.
Move your.
Was it Rose?
Tush up there.
Rose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, Rose, there's room for two on here.
Squeeze your caboose over there.
There's enough room up there for little Leo. Just squidge up a bit.
Little Leo. Some great Leos going on here.
Impression.
Classic Leo.
Great impression of Leo. And final nomination is Trim. Where he plays
Tim Allen, Buzz the Barber.
That was a great one.
Buzz the what was he? Buzz the Beard Killer Barber.
Beard Killer.
That was it. Buzz the Beard Killer Barber.
Trim was fantastic.
That was good.
There was the one bit that fucking killed me was with when he goes into when they're like, there was that blockade of police, and there's like, there's only one survivor, there's only one person you can talk to about what you're facing. He's in this hospital room over here. They go in the hospital room, and you're waiting to see someone who's been really hideously mangled, but he just doesn't have a single blade of hair on his entire body.
That was the guy.
Like, no eyebrows, no eyelashes.
We saw him earlier in the film, and he's Sam Elliott, the guy from Big Lebowski. And he had like a great big bushy. He was the old sheriff who was on the blockade trying to stop it, and he was Tim Allen's Buzz the Beard Killer Barber's friend. And that's why he got back into it. He agreed to do it to avenge his friend.
He's complete as hairless, completely fucking bald.
He's got to be in the bed, and then as he wakes up, like he grabs whoever's there and goes, Buzz, what? Get Buzz, Barber. And then it cuts to Tim Allen doing it.
Buzz, you gotta kill it. You gotta kill it, Buzz. And then he just dies because he has no hair.
It's too big.
I remember my favourite bit in that episode was where it was like, was it a police officer's daughter was engaged to Brian Blessing,
who was actually Dan Stevens when he shaved his beard.
He shaved his beard off and he was Dan Stevens.
Yeah, that was Tim Allen's daughter. Because he had a thing again, because he was a big city barber, and then
but everyone loved beards, and he hated
him, and a famous hipster came in, famous for his beard, and then he just shaved it all off, and it ruined his career. And he had to move out into a small town, and then the beard trimmer was heading for Portland, wasn't it? And because Portland had just opened the first organic, completely made of beard hair barbers, and it was heading right for it. And then he befriended a hipster, like one of the hipsters died, didn't he? But they had a mutual respect by the end. Yeah. But this could have been on for Left Turn, because it started to mold, bring trimmers to life, and they formed into like little tentacles, and then it started to make the perfect human out of hair. And it made Michael Cera, because it was like this. If I can pass him as the most hairless man, boy. If this is possible, then the sequel would be it trying to replace like the president and stuff like that. It was in the core. It was like a sort of 2001 moment. And
inside the giant beard trimmer is collecting hair to make the ultimate human. That was Michael Cera.
What is this award? What is this one? What's the
best
award?
Best mocap by any. He's just a dog.
It's just a dog. I mean, I think I really enjoyed that he was the dog. I know. I think because I'm pretty sure I might have moved. It was one of my options anyway.
Fucking hell.
I think it's just because he was a dog and he refused to mocap, and he was just standing there going.
He stood up, right? He was just in a dog suit. Yeah.
But everyone's just like amazing, brilliant.
Spot on. Sublime.
It's because we had to. We needed a dog because we were like Roland Emmerich films. They always have the dog in, don't they? And so they've got to get away, and we're like, well, let's make Andy Serkis. Yeah. This should have been left on the left hand.
I think Trim's been nominated for other ones there, hasn't it?
Okay, alright.
Who knows?
I won't spoil it, yeah.
Who knows?
We did read it out earlier, but I've done Plum Forgot.
Whoa. Plum
Who's
Forgot.
the winner?
Olympics.
I hope it's Olympics because I would love
Let's
it.
find out.
I'm fine. If we share this, it's fine because the right one won.
It is exactly. Let's find out.
He played motion captured himself as the director. That's how good he is.
Best
The lengths he went
mocap by
to.
Andy Serkis is Olympics.
Oh!
Yes, Ross. Cheers.
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 Ting,
Thank
ting,
you.
ting, ting,
Thank you,
ting,
Mr.
ting.
Serkis.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. And to,
Cheers.
and to Michael.
That's a,
And to Michael.
to our Michael.
Our
Cheers.
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 Oh, this is one very close to Pilsy's heart. Best poster.
Best poster.
And may I say, Pilnan makes Luke. Sorry, Luke. We almost have re-established that Luke's name is Pilnan. Pilnan's name is Luke.
FYI.
The host, the founder
the hostess
of this podcast.
with the mostest.
I think,
boss,
I
the
think
boss.
he kind of deserves a
I'm the
cheers
boss.
on that.
That's a
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers. Alright, and Pilnar makes all of the posters for coming this summer. So, without further ado,
And they're
We
all
can't-
fucking brilliant.
we
as
can't
well.
we can't really do. I guess we can't do clips for this because they're just posters.
No, just
Right. So the nominees are, and we'll discuss these. That's a good list, guys. It's a good list. So the nominees are Trim again,
That's that fucking hideous picture of
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Blessed. I remember. That's fucking great.
Pre-Tash,
Oh,
That's
that
the
one.
Stranger King.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
was
one.
just, and it just doesn't it
That was a
say
good one.
pre-tash on
Pre-tash
yeah,
in
Francis
style,
was
yeah,
that was
that's it.
fucking great.
perfect. And that was a strong opening.
It set the tone for
Set the
everything.
tone. This one really established a different look as well. Olympics, because you had that motion one.
Oh yeah, it was a little short little video, wasn't it?
So that was yeah, just Andy Serkis sort of
Like
fire.
jumping over a hurdle,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's flames all in the background. That is one of my personal favorites. Arrive Alive again.
That was great. That was good.
That one's good. I feel like there's better ones that aren't on this list. Arrive Alive is great. It's Fassbender and McKellen, isn't it?
And it's-
And a green cross in front in the middle.
And there's
of
some green on one side,
Fassbender's
red on
green,
the other.
and
It's
red,
a bit
yeah.
more. It's a bit more subtle. So I guess that,
I
yeah.
started getting a few more apps to fuck around with it.
This is a close. Geriatrics and the life support.
Oh no, that one.
Oh, that was
Right.
good one.
I'm
For
sure.
so many reasons, that episode is my favourite.
I think
but
we will-
the fucking poster for that was spot on.
I feel like this one
Fucking
will be
spot on.
geriatrics will come up. We'll talk about the film later because I feel like it's going to be nominated
we'll
because it's one of the most coherent, so it needs to be on that list. I'd say that poster was great with Capaldi. How you got them all looking punky as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was spot
but
on.
punky, but aged as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprisingly easy one. That one.
Did you have like a?
That's
yeah,
probably because that you're well into it then. You're at that point.
Yeah,
you're-
that was
you know what
close
you're
to
doing.
the end. And I
Did you have like
had
a
all the
background bit as well? Like
gear. It was just I
them
just
and-
looked up punk poster, I think, and it came up with like this weird. Let's have a look. Let's have a
It's
look
just
at
like newspaper cuttings,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
it.
Geriatric and the life support
That was
stuff.
a
I
good
mean
one.
that is great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
I was talking to you about it the
Yeah.
other day. like-
that's how. Yeah.
God, look at that.
That is a good one.
I mean Peter
Fucking
and
Manuel.
the,
brilliant.
is
the
so
and
good.
is a
Is it? Yeah, a little red cross
Red
symbol.
cross.
Yeah. Fucking great.
Right.
Oh yeah,
God
look, up
almighty.
yours in the corner there. Oh yeah, that was like the
Geriatric
tagline.
and
It's
wasn't
like
it?
it's the up yours tours.
Yeah, the up yours tour.
Okay, so 'cause I think we'll discuss these films in a bit. I'd imagine. What's your favourite out of us three? What's
Out
your
of those
favourite out of
ones?
those ones? What's your favourite poster? for you guys?
Geriatric and the life supports. is
Geriatrics.
great, Yeah.
What about you, Phil? Now, what's your
I
favourite
liked
poster?
Pre-Tash.
So, a subtle one. It's
Yeah.
good.
Actually, well, my favourite film out of all of them is Geriatric and the life supports, but probably my favourite poster.
Exactly.
I am likely to say Pre-Tash just because that was just so fucking stupid and hilarious so early on as well.
We haven't
like-
mentioned how good the Trim one is of Brian.
Oh
Blessed.
yeah,
And like a look
You know
at
what,
hair
absolutely.
monster.
I just
Mental.
I literally googled hair monster, and that was the first thing that
That
came
was
up.
very
and I thought,
good.
That's
There
gotta
we
be
go.
in there.
Sorted.
I tried to get in their little fly. I think there might be one in there, a little flying razor. I think it might be in the background somewhere. Yeah, there it is, little flying razor.
Amazing.
The font you used for trim as well. It's fucking great.
Um,
Oh
I-
god.
I'm surprised I didn't. Wedding Pack didn't get one.
Yeah, that was quite great.
That was 4.
Yeah, the whole
selection.
selection.
4 in one, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's talk about some of the close ones. I thought Destiny almost looked like a real B-movie poster. It looked like it could have been a real...
That could be a DVD cover.
Like
it could easily be a straight
it could have been
DVD
like
cover.
a sort of fake, a Gremlins knockoff sort of DVD cover.
That's a good one.
I think it's quite strong.
Another good one was just, in general, I don't know if it got much love, but the Deep Shit. That was a good poster and a good film.
I was quite proud of myself on that one because the colour went from red into black. Like what?
There's a serious gradient.
Like, that's what happens with debt, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go from the red into the black.
That's it.
That's how you get out of debt. And I thought, that's clever. That is, mate.
It's clever, and the blood is clever on so many levels.
Oh, there's another close miss, honourable mention for Apocalypse. Which had two great
Simple
posters.
and
Great that was.
Another common. He doesn't get much love, but another common pod member, Macaulay Culkin, has been in quite a few films. He cast in quite a lot. He was in my favourite being the Christmas episode,
The Forgotten,
which is one of my favourite episodes.
I tell you what was a hard poster to do was the producers.
Oh my god!
Because I had to remove Leo's neck.
Oh my god!
So the producers it was just an explosion.
With a goose and then fucking Leo with no neck.
It's an excellent use of the transform because Michael Bay became the secret hero of that.
Yeah,
that was almost a left turn in itself. That was a good one. Where it just suddenly we decided that bad filmmakers needed to save Hollywood. Like the new upstarts needed to topple the old regime, so they went to someone who was established but not respected. And Michael Bay was top of the list,
established but not respected.
Yeah. I don't know how he saved it, but he teamed up with he brought the explosions.
Yeah,
without further ado, actually, no, we need to guess. What do you think is going to win?
Not the nominees again. Let's have a look. I think.
So Pillon knows.
I think Pretash.
He's going to win.
Yeah, I think because everyone's got a real childish affection for Hitler-related stuff.
It's your first one as well.
Yeah, I think saying Pretash is going to win, and the winner is Trim.
Oh, fuck!
That I've got to say that I did not. We barely mentioned it.
It's got Brian Blessed.
Great.
Come on.
I didn't expect it to be a winner though. But
I think it's just because it was hideous.
I think so. Yeah, that was really quite disturbing.
And the fact that you googled hair monster, but then got a great picture of Brian Blessed making the same face
looking
as
like
a hair monster. Wasn't
looking like the hair monster.
Was an excellent pull. So nobody wins. Nobody wins, Ross.
But I respect it fully. I respect that decision.
Damn it, do I
Except
expect
me. What have we got?
Let's be having you. Who's ready for this? And I think it's quite fitting that I have this one.
Oh,
best inclusion of poo.
Ross, the purveyor of poo on Communist Pod.
It's quite apt as well because you've just fired.
Well, exactly. I've expelled some pooey gas.
There's fecal matter floating around.
There is. It's amongst us.
It's filling your vocal cords. All of our vocal cords as we talk about poo.
We'll be getting pink eye tonight.
We're going to be getting pink throat.
You'll be getting brown eye if you're lucky.
Oh, pardon.
Pull it out and I'll colour you in like a crayon and paper, you know.
Yeah,
mate.
This became a bit of a feature of the pod that became lamented whilst we were doing it. Like
we were timing it.
A few episodes in, we started to. I've actually got notes on my phone from when I re-listened, and I've noted down the time of when we mentioned it, how long in. I can't remember what was the quickest one.
The longest. I think the longest one was 7 minutes. I think.
Well, there's quite a few episodes where we stopped. We didn't mention it in the first episode, but I think Hell Olympics was the first time we dropped a poo reference, and then it steadily got more extreme, and like I think
faster.
I think maybe Obova or something like that was like instant, almost instant,
straight away.
And then the second series we stopped. We toned down a little bit because I think we were getting bored of just talking about poo all the time.
But then we realised that really that's what it's all about.
Marvellous stuff.
It's marvellous.
Marvellous stuff.
Well, it's interesting you say that because we've got Hell Olympics on here as one of the contenders. So.
Hey. This is where we should know what the poo is.
Poo in the shoes.
poo in the shoe. That's what it is.
That's how the guy died.
That's how the guy died.
He put shit in his shoes.
And then he
fell over and hit his head.
He got shit in his shoes, and he didn't have his sense of smell. He couldn't smell anything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
And
he had
so
to go
he
get
didn't-
his sense of smell back.
Well, he couldn't smell anything, and that's why he died, because he couldn't smell that there was poo in his shoes. So he walked around all the time, and he got a disease from the poo.
It's so stupid.
And then,
fucking stupid.
or is it he lost his sense? Because then he had to teach the guy. Oh yeah, that's right. And then because then he was teamed up as like a buddy thing with the other character, and they hated each other, but they were teamed together, and then they started to become friends again. The last round of the Hell Olympics was the Smell Olympics, and the guy who put the shit in the shoe, that has to teach the guy
to buddy up.
He has to teach the guy how to smell, or what you have to do with smell. Yeah, he had to teach him to smell again, or something stupid like that. I mean, already this is my favourite because this was a plot point. That's why it was so good.
A plot point, if you will.
That's got to be. That's joined the canon of pulling something out of the fairs and all the other phrases of podcasts. A plot point.
The plot point.
Let's go through these plot
From
points.
now on, that's whenever someone references poo, that's the plot point.
Plot point.
The point of plot.
I'll put a little warning in the description.
Yeah.
There's
The plot point.
Plot point at, yeah.
Yeah. Plot point at. You got plot point A, plot point B.
Every
time
single
codes for everything.
Fecal related plot point. Yeah. Well, so we've got Hellolympics with the shitty shoes. We've got obviously Dr. Proctopus. It's a big contender.
Once
there.
again, that was well worked into the prop.
That one was fucking great. God, I love
That was good.
That's absolutely amazing. The disgraced
proctologist.
But wasn't it some proctology
convention in
Texas?
Yeah, in Texas.
Where everyone puts on a show, didn't they?
And then the guy who usurped this guy had like extra arms or something so he could do proctology exams on loads of people.
Exactly. And then it was a father-son road trip, and we cast a lot of people from Arrested Development.
He didn't have any hands. Was that the one where he didn't have any hands or something?
No, I think that it's possible that we said that though, because this one could have been left turn as well, because we had about 4 different films that we came up with the one we ended up developing the most first, and then we came up with one where it was kind of like what Trim became. Obviously, it was like a giant prolapsing anus that was going across. There was like a disaster film, and we had something else, and then we went back to a road trip where he'd given up. He was an embarrassed proctologist, and he had to learn to love proctology again. His son wanted to be a mascot or something. He wanted to be a mascot for the proctology convention, so he's got his dad to take him down.
Shitty rubber glove.
And then on the way, exactly. Yeah, I think that's got to be what he was. And he was Michael Cera and Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman was the dad, and then he had to learn. They had a Logan-style road trip where they had to stay with a family, and someone was having he had to learn to, he had the shakes, but he had to start doing proctology again and face his fears.
Like the dad or the granddad or something like that. The family was having a problem.
He needed to be examined.
He needed to be examined.
The midpoint of the film was where Jason Bateman finally gives in and helps him.
Starts up his love of proctology.
And we had another Wernstrom-like figure who said who had all the extra arms.
And really taken it to the next level.
He discredited him, hadn't he? I think he'd sabotaged like an anus that Jason Bateman was another convention. He was examining it and didn't like something weird happen, like loads of black stuff sprayed out, and that embarrassed him. And it's because he'd been sabotaged.
I can't breathe. Oh God!
He'd been sabotaged by this other evil proctologist. And then at the end, actually no, I don't know if the son wanted to be a mascot. Because at the end he did that classic thing, kind of like what we did in we repeated loads of stuff. It was like a geriatric as well. He the guy who came on to do his proctology exam, and I think he let his son do it or something, didn't he? He said, "Go on, son." And then we had the great bit where.
But there wasn't it like a big dance number?
No, it wasn't. It was cheering. It was like who started. What it was is something happened that deserved a cheer, and then everyone got up, and they were all still wearing their proctology gloves that had poo all over it, and they started clapping, and poo just started spraying everywhere. It was like classic sort of slow clap, and then everyone just had like shit spraying everywhere. It was something like that.
Wasn't there like there was kind of like like the kind of winning move they had to do was this one guy that no one's ever been able to put their finger up his ass or something.
Yeah.
So he was, I can't remember what we called him. Maybe like the Beast. And he was just bent over there. It was like a really tense moment, and he had to try and put his finger up his ass. And he does it and wins.
Everyone goes crazy.
Fucking hell.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
That was great.
That was a good one.
But yeah, what's next on the list? So we had Olympics.
Olympics
does Texas, or goes to Texas.
To the point of murder.
Okay, so wasn't this one like, weren't we saying it's something like with like in The Walking Dead, you know, when they cover themselves?
They cover themselves in poo.
Because there's loads of old people, it's all the old people on the cruise, isn't it? Oh no, shit.
No, that's then
because the people who are so scared they shit themselves, they're covering the
that's
scary
right.
Yeah, that's
shit.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So they cover themselves in shit.
Yeah.
So that they think they're one of the scared.
Because they're so scared they're
That is
crapping
actually
themselves.
a really good one.
It's an excellent.
I'm very
use of
pleased with
feces.
these nominees of feces because they are all
These nominees.
integral. They're integral to the plot.
I quite like that one. I think it makes a lot of sense. It works in the film. I mean, I'm going to say the.
Holidays down.
We do apologise for the inconvenience. We are experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment as Drew Warner has fallen off of his chair. Do hold on whilst we try and pick him up. Thank you.
Alright, sorry, yeah.
What
What were we on? Yeah, so are we still on to the point of murder?
One more nominee.
I think there's not as much to say about that one, but it was
it's
a
fully
good one.
functional bit of the plot.
Yeah, so it's been a deserving winner, but the other
actually a good inclusion of poo.
yeah, but the other two were we hadn't talked about, and they were funny in regards to the whole plot of Dr. Proctopus centred around
stupid
us
as hell.
laughing about poo.
I mean, it's a proctologist exam convention. I mean,
There's
come on,
gonna be poo.
there's going to be a hell of a lot.
We're going to piss off a lot of proctologists. They're either going to think
maybe
we're
we'll
heroes.
bump them up.
We're either going to think we're heroes, or that we don't know what we're talking. It's going to be like the farmers and Alan Partridge.
We're going to do to paleontologists, or to proctologists, what Jurassic Park did to paleontologists.
What about paleoproctologists? They've got a paleo veterinarian in the new one. What about paleoproctologists?
They're going to be rolling in it.
They'll be.
And I don't mean money.
Oh, that's one big pile of shit.
Yum yum yum.
Meow
There's
meow.
one more nominee there.
Oh, aptly named. Deep shit.
Oh,
I can't remember what was.
I thought
Was
they
it
were
just
just
'cause it
in
said
deep shit.
Oh, were they actually like just buried in shit? Was that what it-
This was about being
Loan
loan
sharks.
sharks.
Yeah.
I don't recall any.
I
I
think what the
can't recall
inclusion of poo
anything.
was. Maybe it's just because it says shit.
I think it might just be deep shit. I guess, but it's
can't
not.
remember anything
It's not literally.
feces
This is a clever. This is a people being clever vote, saying that this is the best shit. It's not the shit mention though.
Good.
No, it's good. It's a good because it is a good episode.
It was a fucking great
Like,
episode.
like,
let's
and
face
that evolved quite a lot as well because the loan shark suit. It started off just being a shark that you got when you were in
When you
debt,
get a loan.
and it just followed you
And if
around,
you don't
and it
pay
was
it in time, it's trained to attack you.
yeah, and it was just a mind the shark, and then it became
And they all of them wanted to go back to the sea. They didn't want to be there. Like,
exactly.
as much as you didn't want them to be there.
And
they
then
didn't want to be
there was like the shark mafia who were sharks that had like technology that could make them talk, but they wouldn't share it with the others. It made them like God, loads of Futurama references, but like the monkey who has the hat.
Yeah.
It's like they had something that made them intelligent, and they wouldn't share it with all the other sharks, and they were using other sharks as mindless things. So it added that level to it. And then Jason Bateman and the shark were in like a love triangle, which I guess is kind of being in deep shit, really. Like you're up to your ass in debt, and then you're in love.
Were they husbands?
They were husbands,
Yeah,
and then they were both in love with the shark.
With the
I think,
lame
as well.
shark.
And that shark was just to mind the shark. There was that scene
It
Will
just wanted to
described.
go back into the sea.
There was that scene Will described because it couldn't even talk, and he had it like Jason Bateman had it out at like a restaurant or something, and he was just talking to it normally, and this shark just thrashing around, just knocking
trying to
shit
flop
out.
towards the sea.
It's just literally just like a real shark, but
So
he was still
opened up
talking
to
to
it.
it as though it was like it could converse with them. That is good. It's a different it's a different poo to this list, but I think a valid poo.
I think so.
Definitely.
I mean, for a name, I think it works pretty well. Really fucking well.
What's the winner?
Oh, what's the winner?
Shall I
Let me
open
see.
it?
Oh, we've got to
Shall I?
vote.
Come
What do
on.
you think?
I think right. I'll say my favourite because you can say your favourite as well. I think my favourite is Olympics. I think what will win is Dr. Proctopus because people will think about that, the poo in that more. than
My
Olympics.
favourite is Dr. Proctopus Takes Texas. That's
Right.
my absolute. That is my 100% winner on this particular horse. Let's find out.
Let's find out what the winner
Yet another
is.
lovely gilded, embossed silver card.
Embossed
Pink
nast.
motif. A pink motif.
It's the
Who's
only
ready?
card I could
Pink
find.
motive. It should have been brown.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
There's some brown smears on here.
Is it?
It's Dr. Proctopus Takes Texas.
Aye, so we
It's
both
the
win
winner.
again.
Fucking beautiful.
Sound of my finger.
Spot on. Spot on. Next.
Pooey next.
I like you're gonna hear us gradually descend, like the start. We were like, cheers, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing round.
Cheers.
Descending to us, just going, yeah, next.
All you hear is
Next.
the clank of cans.
The dull thump of a can being.
I'm doing.
Let's get a bit closer so we can hear it.
This one.
The dull clanking.
Ooh, this is a good one. The category
Hillman.
is
Tell me.
film you most want to see get made.
Oh, there's quite a few.
So this is
My mind has been changed as well by a lot of
Ooh.
rememberings.
This is essentially your favourite film, isn't it? Basically.
Well, one that you'd like to see on the screen. It could be one that is just so mind-boggling that you just like to see what it would look like.
That's true.
I like Apocalypse is one of my favourites, but I can think of other films I'd rather get made.
Right.
Because
Because
I-
we've got like best film. Like we've got different levels of enjoyment with best film, most coherent, and
Best episode as well.
best episode. I'll get that's your favourite kind of, is it? This is like
Yeah,
the
well,
most
best episode is your
ludicrous
favourite
that might not
episode
get
of
made, or
podcast like that. Okay, so the nominees are. This will be a quick one as well because we've discussed these already.
right.
Number one, Dr. Proctopus Takes
Excellent.
Texas.
Just
That
see
gets
5
my-
minutes ago
that
when we
gets
pissed
my
ourselves
fucking
talking
vote.
about it.
That instantly gets my vote.
Was that your change? Did you change to that remembering it, or is Dr. Proctor always stood out for you as a
Well, see,
favourite?
because the thing is it's either it's either that or geriatric, and I think I would love to see Dr. Proctopus be made in the style of Best in Show or Spinal Tap.
That's how I imagine.
But I would
Yes.
I would also
Yes.
love for geriatric and life sports to be made in the vein of like basically any BFI institute fucking lottery funded
Yeah.
English.
Could even be made like
Little
Still
fuck-
Crazy, you know,
Yeah,
just a film about a band. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Like
Yeah.
that's like a Ricky Gervais fucking style thing.
Yeah.
Just like a fly on the wall documentary sort of thing. Whereas I think Dr. Proctopus could have a bit more.
Scope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough one. It's a tough.
I'm hoping Bon Garson's on this because remembering Bon Garson, I think that's one that I want to see made.
That could be
Because I wanna
that could
see
be
what
legitimately
happens.
made into a film.
Okay,
Like that
well-
really could.
Okay, the next one is Time Twirlers.
Oh, Time Twirlers. Just one of the best.
I think that's like actually a good idea.
Yeah.
That one,
I think there's got to
that's
be
why-
Time Twirlers has got to be one of. Is that one of the most nominated? Because we've talked about it about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Is Time Twirlers one of those?
It's not there
Is
a
it
few
just
times, yeah.
a classic episode? Maybe it's because it's one of those ones that's got forced. It's when you have multiple stories, you have a bit for everyone.
Yeah.
Like if you
There's
don't
something
like,
in there. It's so accessible.
there's so many different things going on that you don't get bored.
The next one. This actually surprises me how many nominations this one's had. Arrive Alive.
This is probably neck and neck with Time Twirlers, maybe.
Yeah, it's been up for a lot. I think there's like 3 maybe.
Cause it's a hard one because I think when I re-listened to it, I remembered how good it was. But whenever I think of it, I don't think it's not one that leaps out at me.
No.
Because it's not. I think maybe just when I say the name, it doesn't sound as mad. But when you actually talk about it, like we did, how it's like a sort of Jesus figure who's the Greek cross code man,
He's the only person
who defeats an army of sentient cars in the future. I mean, it is actually really good.
Yeah.
And it actually.
You can see society going that way.
Oh, it's some deep social commentary. Really. It's probably one of the. It probably sticks out as one of the first ones that was, other than Pre-Chash, maybe, that was like really coherent. Like a coherent story.
Yeah.
Because all of the first series, I think, were more like they got madder and madder as they went, and then Arrive Alive kind of became a bit more subtle again. Not subtle in inverted commas. But it sort of made it. We made something that felt like it was going to be a film, and it came from you pulling out the Green Cross Code. But it came from almost nothing and became a film that I would watch.
Can legitimately become a real thing. Like,
that's got to be why it's partly not. It's almost like it's a history of coming this summer. It's an important chapter, so people remember it fondly.
There was a real milestone was reached with that.
Okay. Flibby Bibbits.
I love the fucking concept.
I think
of Flibby Bibbits.
I would read. Oh, have you got the full title in this one?
No.
I'm going to read because
I
can't.
And it's so.
Actually, it's got to be on on favourite title, so maybe I'll read it out for full title because it should have got me nominated for best title.
It is ridiculous. He's cutting ahead.
If not, I will read it out right now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll read it out when we get the title.
It's on there. It's on the Jesus Christ.
Okay. And American Wedding Pact. But to get, I think that's another like.
Is that film you almost want to see? Yeah, sorry.
I think that's another one that I think is actually quite good.
When you think about how great American Psycho is,
I remember
basically
when I
four times American Psycho
it's
in
one of those
one
ones.
film.
Exactly.
I think I even said in the episode where it was like I wasn't sure about bringing it up because it seems like such an obvious idea, like especially like the initial idea that I had not to go in this murderous direction.
Yeah.
But like the idea of like them having this wedding pact.
It's just an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah,
Exactly. It could have been an Adam Sandler or a Matthew McConaughey wedding performance, Reconnaissance and Ryan Reynolds.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, just those people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I've got
really
an idea
that
like kind of like that for next series as well.
Okay.
I've got like, or it's the base of an idea that it's like I'll tell you whenever we do one.
Okay, let's find out who wins.
Wait, we've got to
who do
vote.
you think wins?
Sorry, could I have a look? I'll have a look. See.
Dr. Proctopus for me, without a doubt, fucking without a shadow of a doubt.
I think
no, it's not what you want to win.
It's what is going to win.
What you think will win.
I think
I'm fairly certain Dr. Proctopus would win because it's like Best in Show and Spinal Tap, and everyone loves those films.
I think Time Twirlers. I don't know. I think people will vote for it as I want to see this get made because how do you make this work?
Yeah.
I think people. It's almost like a vote of daring.
Yeah. I dare you to
make this film, and that's the only one of all of those that I think has that. Although close to me is Flibby Bibbits because I love that concept. It's a great concept.
The winner.
The anti-fucking Lord
The winner
of the
of
Rings.
the film you most want to see get made is Time Twirlers.
Oh!
Yes. See?
I think both the ones I've won solely on are Time Twirlers. Yeah.
They're both Time Twirlers.
Always going for the Ooh, most coherent plot. And the first one will shock you. The first one will really shock you, and we should go into this because this is a landmark for all probably the wrong reasons. It's first nomination, Festiny. So the history of this, I think. No, I wouldn't have voted. This was on my list of short shortlist, because when I re-listened to it, it was the most arduous one to make because your fez was full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's when I cut my finger off.
Because the first one we got out of the fez was the trim, and that actually worked out quite well. But that one, you were just pulling jagged bits of metal out, so we had nothing to go on.
I remember there's even a bit in the episode where I just go, I don't know.
Yeah, I love that still in there as well. Like, but yeah, it was so it's me, you, and Thompson Sunday morning, and you were pulling just bits of metal out of the fez, and then somehow it actually, like, it took us so long, or it felt so long coming up with it. It felt like this is gonna be shit, and then it turned into a real film. We like when we put it like the turning point was when we said to Thompson that this could just be like an episode of Rick and Morty. Like, it was like then it suddenly it actually kind of makes sense. Like the fez was like it was a Gremlins-esque. Like, you get the fez and it's got magical monkey paw thing. But you get what you want out of the fez, but it has dark consequences. Like that he gets
what cost?
He gets it. It's like, well, it starts off like it has a Jack and the Beanstalk sort of thing. So he gets the fez for his dad. He's got conned into getting it for his dad's birthday, and then the mum's like, "This is ridiculous. You can't give this to your dad. Like, you go up to your room." And then the kid goes up and it glows like the Santa sack in Ernest Saves Christmas. And he pulls, and you go in and you pull out whatever you need at that moment in time. And he pulls out, because one of the items in the fez was a Batman belt, and he had a bottle cap. So he got a beer, and the beer was a Foster's that could never, because I think the bottle cap was Foster's, that it always refilled. And his dad loved Batman and beer, so he gave him that. But then the dark consequence later was that the dad was an alcoholic and he lost his job because he'd been up all night drinking. And then he got stuff like, he got the pheromone that would make the girl at school fall in love with him. This is where the Rick and Morty thing's like, it's like Jessica and Morty almost. And then he stank of shit to everyone else. But she was madly in love with him, and then he got her a chain that started loose, as a necklace, and it started choking her gradually.
Oh shit, that was.
And then we didn't know how to end it, and then we were like, Gremlins, the fezzes. It makes loads of little mini fezzes and they attack the town, and then the town defeat them because what's the ultimate enemy of a hat? An arse. They're immune to everything. They're like shooting them, stabbing them, flames everywhere, and then one of them falls over and lands on the fez and it crushes it, and they realise that sitting on the hat, because you'll never be able to get that hat right again.
Of a hat is an arse.
Yeah. So that one
wasn't there a bit. Because it started just sort of like, okay, let's think of like everyday problems for a high school kid, and then I'll put my hand in the fez, and whatever I pull out, that will fix it. And wasn't there one like the bully comes up to him and like asks for his lunch money? I was like, okay, let's dive in. And I just pulled out some money,
and he gives him some money.
Oh, he just gives him some money.
Yeah. And he goes away, but he comes back the next day.
That was the consequence, was that he keeps coming back because he gives him money.
And then you pull out like a razor blade or something, and then you get sent to home from school.
Oh, yeah.
He cuts it. I think he cuts his hand on like a razor blade, and he gets sent home from school because he's cut himself. So he avoids it.
I had to go, guys, you're gonna have to carry on without me for a bit. I'm really pleading.
That was the first.
Cut my finger open.
That episode.
The curse of the fez.
That episode was the first and last Coming This Summer casualty.
Yeah.
Did you just use like a bucket to scoop everything up?
It was just any sort of bit. I just put it in this thing just to keep it sort of not on the floor. And it just, there was some razor blades.
You put it in a fez.
There's a lot of jagged metal in there.
So good.
But yeah, I'm surprised to see this in it, but I think it was the same surprise that I had when I listened to it again, and it was like, this is actually kind of makes some sense. Again, I think it's one of those things that came from nothing. It came out like the start of the episode is so shit, and then it gets like turns into a real film somehow, a real-ish film. Like that is a pretty standard sort of monkey paw film, isn't it? Yeah, basically, yeah. Because the other ones, the next two we've talked about quite a lot. So the next nomination is Arrive Alive. As we said, that was kind of the first one that had a coherent plot. This one's weirder for being coherent plot, but again, big nominee, Time Twirlers.
It's a firm favourite.
I think it's because we put in that thing with the stick, and it became an interesting ball style. The stick links everyone, doesn't
well,
it?
like the individual stories.
I guess they all make sense in their own
world. I
worlds.
really like the idea of Will going back, and he was a cow in a slaughterhouse, like on his way.
He was on the track or whatever, wasn't it?
And he had to get out.
You go back in time, but you can't choose what you become.
That's one of the things. He couldn't speak or anything. He couldn't say stop. He had to work out how to get out as a cow, like how to get himself. I don't know if he worked out how he got out, but he had to get himself dizzy somehow to get out of it. Because that was what it was, wasn't it? It's like we realised that it was in your brain. It wasn't the stick. It was like you have to get your brain dizzy enough, and you'll go through time. And the easiest way to do that was getting on a stick and
with the
running
time
around.
stick. Yeah.
But yeah, time dwellers we talked about quite a lot, but. Yeah, it's kind of makes sense, and like at first I think that sounds a bit weird as well, but yeah, you say each one does work quite well. And then we haven't talked about this because I was saving it for this, but geriatrics and life support. I think that's got to be one of my favourites, if not my favourite. It was a special one for us because this is us in the tour van talking about it. And this is
personal.
We were talking about it the other day. I think this is what you get. Yeah, this is
what gave me the idea
inspiration.
for doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It was such a complete story, and it was it had such vivid characters, and it was so relatable as well. Like it was so relatable. Oh my god!
I think I found myself like just for variety trying not to vote it for more things like across all the sort of best film, what I most want to see, because I think I almost put it for that, and that like you guys said, it's like I want to see something crazier because that I could imagine that being seen, but I almost thought I want to see that because this could be a real film that I actually genuinely really like.
You can really imagine it. Like the only thing that I can think of that comes close to it is something like Spinal Tap. That like I can't think of any. I mean, I would love to see a film that is shot in a documentary style about a band that has never made it, that never will make it. And that is like so the members of it besides one are so resigned to their life of like mundaneness.
The closest thing is Anvil really, even also Spinal, because that has that tragedy, but it did actually like we were still. It felt like it was a good one for us. I don't know about people listening, but it was good because I think we were trying to be funny as well. But I think we actually made the story it was a really sort of simple story, but it had enough the characters felt like it felt as we were making them up. Some of them were more cutting, like the bassist who needs to be home by 10 and he falls asleep on stage and stuff. But
didn't he have like a bed?
He had a bed that he fell back into, and they pulled
Ready
him in the tour bus. and then other things that are on the cusp you think are so stupid. But if you go on tour, there are people like this, like the guy who made himself everyone call him Wanker. Because remember Wanker? That was Steve Coogan's character, because it was an Armando Iannucci production, and Steve Coogan was Wanker, the mate of Jerry. But then
Wanker.
He had to be called Wanker.
A fucking nickname. That was a moment in the podcast when we just fucking burst out laughing.
And then his daughter was called Maiden Name.
Maiden Name. But yeah,
we totally should have had someone named Stage Name as well.
In the sequel about his daughter. 50 years time we made the film about his
daughter. She has
a
kid called Stage Name.
Oh my god! I think did we even say this in the episode? If we didn't, I'm saying it now. But he could have got knighted. He's got surname.
The services to like fucking beer festival music surname. Fuck's sake. That's so crappy.
My favourite bit on there as well was when on the first night of the tour he got really pissed
and he couldn't even do the rest of it.
He couldn't go on the first night, and then the second night he
went out and scored some coke, didn't he?
And he got on stage, but then
he
collapsed.
Because didn't we say that he fucking burst through the door, just goes, woo!
Yeah. And then
There's like 6 people there, and they've already started.
And they pulled, and then the guy pulled the plug on him or something. Although the second gig is where the band carried on with the girl, but he passed out, didn't he? And then in the third one, he like accidentally hit maiden name, and his nickname fell out. But it's good, even with all that, as I say, that story with him and Nick, we had like, I liked the moment where he nicknamed, when we had the moment where he got his life together, and I was thinking actually it was kind of like, you know, Step Brothers. You seen Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh man,
where they have that whole bit. It's kind of like where they kind of subvert the trope. They go back to living normally, and they actually see them living normally for a bit, and they don't want to go back to the life, like the sort of their silliness, but they have to learn to embrace it. That's kind of the moment we have in the cafe where or wherever he was. No, it's he. I can't remember. We didn't say where Jerry worked, but Nick sees him and then he's all apologetic and he's trying to get his life together. And they go to that cafe. That was great. That was a great. That was the emotional scene of the film.
The real hook.
I kind of had to stop talking about that bit.
Yeah.
I was getting a bit sad.
Yeah.
That was seriously emotional.
Well, that was the
weird thing. I've never felt so invested in characters before, in anything I've created, in anything I've watched, in anything I've been a part of in any way.
I think that's
geriatric and the life sports was fucking deep.
I think that's why we figured like Spinal Tap and better, because those are funny films, but you also like and care about the characters.
So much heart.
I am surprised that this is. I thought this would like be like the Lord of the Rings of the Ceras.
I feel like maybe it's an inside baseball thing. Maybe it's like us three did it and we love it. Maybe not everyone. Maybe it's not as fun to listen to.
Shit! And also,
I don't know.
The updated theme tune.
There we go. It's got to be the theme. Can geriatric and the life supports be the theme tune of the series?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was fucking great.
That was fucking hilarious.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think it's just been this and best poster. I think it's been up for.
Really? So it's not even best film. I feel like it's definitely best.
Including this.
Best film. I know we've already done it, but I feel like it's the best. I think it's not. I think because of maybe what we're saying we like about it is also why it doesn't stand out. It's not like for like listening to it for fun, like a Dr. Proctopus where you just go, that's fucking ridiculous, or Time Twirlers. It's like
so
it's
stupid,
a fucking Phantom Menace film. It's like, oh my god, it doesn't have anything like that in it. It's just I guess maybe to listen to it's less exciting because it sounds like a real film, whereas we love it because we were making it up and thinking this could be a film, so we're quite excited about it.
I can picture every bit that we've talked about. I can picture how it would look on the screen. I can like every single little bit about it. I can see how it would be filmed, how it would be like fucking just everything. I can see whenever we talk about geriatric life spots, I can see it, and it's not necessarily the most ridiculous. It's not necessarily the most like outrageous or the most stupid. It's, for me personally, it's the most fulfilling and the most enjoyable. The most fleshed out and just amazing film that I would want to be made ever. Like, I mean, like, Saxondale is another one that massively fucking inspired.
And then we basically like Wanker. It's basically Saxondale. That's probably why we thought of Steve Coogan.
There was an episode.
He's just playing fucking Tommy Saxondale in it.
Of Saxondale, where he was hired by a band to sort of do their sound. He gets really drunk, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he thinks they're going to be really rock and roll, but they're like absolutely not.
Just sitting on their laptops, just sort of. And he's pissed out of his mind.
And that bit where he's standing in the empty fucking room with the stage in it, and you can just hear the faint sound of like a crowd cheering whilst he looks up at the empty stage, and it's so fucking depressing. Oh my god, I love it.
It was good.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. Right, I think what do you reckon? Well,
was that the only nominees?
There's the only nominees.
4.
It's Festini, Arrive Alive, Time Dwellers, and Geriatrics. Now,
I'm going to
go for Geriatric.
Yeah.
I don't think it will get it.
I don't think it will get it, but I
don't know what else, because I think it's by far and away the most Caribbean pot, so I don't know what I would guess other than that. So I'm gonna go for geriatric.
I potentially could see Arrive Alive being a coherent plot, but I'm gonna, like you say,
Stick to your guns.
I'm just gonna be stubborn and say
because it's
geriatric.
should.
Because it rightfully is the winner. I mean, let's face it.
It makes the most sense.
If it's
a film.
If it's not, the Ceras are a sham.
We'll get ready to shamu. It's geriatric.
Oh yes.
Yay! I mean, it is the most chaotic. Right? Yeah, we had a moment of doubt, but
Thank fuck.
yes.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. Geriatric and that
Beautiful.
fucking life support.
Says it in big, beautiful
Read it and weep.
typeface.
Read it and weep. I have here in my very hand. I have the award for best casting. I just read one that I completely forgot about.
Before we start this one, there was no clear winner.
Oh Jesus!
So I think we have to decide the winner of this one.
Okay, so let's go through this.
So we'll go through it and then we'll decide on a winner.
Okay, so best casting we have Brian Blessed as the bearded boyfriend in Trim.
I mean, that should be a joint award with Dan Stevens because that's a joint casting. Yeah, like we talked about that a bit. That is great. I think it makes it funnier that it's funny on one level because he's dating Buzz's daughter, but then it's funnier because underneath his beard he's Dan Stevens.
Doesn't he like? Isn't that the line he says when he takes the beard off? I told you I was 30.
Yeah, because he was like, because Buzz was so against it because of the age difference, and Jim was like, "What are you talking about? There's nothing. It doesn't matter." And it's because there isn't an age difference. It's just Dan Stevens because he's dating Alison Brie.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's the next one?
The next one is Cliff Richard as Santa in Mistletoe.
Right, I'm going to say I voted for this one, and this is my favourite.
That is a great shout.
This is one I'm surprised didn't get more love than the awards so far because it's one of my favourite episodes with Time Dwellers and Geriatric.
Christmas stuff is always overlooked, I find.
But it's like that one. I loved coming up with that one. And
so funny.
Some of my favourite names: Mistletoe and Crime. And
what was we wish you a Merry Listmas.
We wish you a naughty list. It's Merry, but it's crossed out and put naughty Listmas.
And Frosting the Snowmen.
Frosting the Snowmen. But really, it's Mistletoe and Crime. Mistletoe and Crime was the one.
Frosting the Snowmen is the one.
But Cliff Richard was great. Like, the fact that it all hinged on his calendar and that the whole story of the middle one, where it's the Die Hard meets Groundhog Day. It was because I just came in with, what if we make a film that's just got all Christmassy things? Cliff Richard is Christmassy, Die Hard is Christmassy, Gremlins is Christmassy, and then it turned into this complete other thing. And that Groundhog Day aspect, Eddie Murphy playing the bad guy, and he just keeps referencing his own films, and the Beverly Hills Cop teacher keeps playing, and then the fact that it hinges on Cliff Richard singing Summer Holiday, and there's a whole subplot about him sending messages to himself through his calendars. I mean, that was just I fucking love that episode.
What I loved about it as well is that he had to do all this stuff while staying in character as Father Christmas.
Yeah,
because there was kids there and he didn't want them to realise that
kids on set constantly.
But remember, didn't they really hate him? And then when he came on stage and took off his beard, they went, "Hey, it's Cliff Richard." They were really into Cliff Richard, but they hated Santa Claus.
Wasn't there a bit though where maybe it was on the other one, the later one, where he was just like a really old man Father Christmas. He was like, "Come here, kids," and all the kids are just crying
because the final
Santa's gonna die.
The final episode. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna get nominated, so I'll just mention. I love in the first one we set up the sequel to Castaway called Blast Away because Tom Hanks is the FedEx man in the a FedEx man takes the kid played by Macaulay Culkin to get his naughty letter back. I won't go into too much because it's not in this bit.
Blast Away.
But yeah, no, Cliff Richard was the sack because they went back to the mall in the future for Frosting the Snowman, and that tied it all together.
Yeah.
He was the Santa still, and Macaulay Culkin had now grown up to be the person who had to. Yeah, I don't want to go out too much because it hasn't got as much love, but I love that episode. It's one of my
Because there was a bit, wasn't there, where some kid didn't get the volleyball that he asked for Christmas.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember saying that as a kid. They asked for a volleyball for Christmas, but he didn't get it. Fucking Tom Hanks has got it on the island.
He fucking did away with it. Oh god.
Right.
Jesus.
Who else is there? We've got Cliff and Brian / Dan.
We've got a real bear from Winnie the Pooh in Oh Bother.
See, I knew it wasn't Andy Serkis. I knew it.
A real bear.
And it did like the best thing is that it was Jim Carrey was in motion capture, but he demanded that he actually fight the bear.
God.
Getting fucking mauled by it.
And they had like one scene to shoot it in because he was just like fucking ripped apart.
So wounded, so desperately wounded from fighting a real bear. A real bear. It's like the Revenant, but instead of it being a CGI one, it's a real fucking bear. You think Leo had it bad?
Jim's
No, wait till you see what's left of Jim.
Jim's the real method man.
Holy fuck.
You've seen Jim and Andy, now see Oh Bother. You see how far he really goes.
Holy fuck.
I love that in the backstory that he legally changed his name to Jam Honey. That became the character's name. The character's name, but we made it. But originally it was that Jim Carrey wanted to change his name to Jim Honey, and then there was a typo that they called him Jam Honey. I'm pretty sure that's why he's called Jam Honey.
Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh. And this one took me by surprise because I completely fucking forgot about it. But Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer as the positive and negative batteries in Bootery.
That is a good one.
Okay, that was my vote.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I forgot about that.
The only reason I voted for that one was because I listened back and I just remember when we said, "Oh, there should be two souls."
It's like
trapped
positive
in one
and
battery.
negative.
And we must have been earlier that day watching clips of Shooting Stars or something. Or maybe I showed you the Peter Beardsley thing.
Yeah, I think it was.
And you just went, Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer. And I just went, just the reaction I had from that, like, it was just bigger than any reaction.
It would be a fucking match made in heaven. What better double act could you
One
have?
of them was like really grumpy and the other one is like really upbeat.
Oh, they need to be as stupid as the fucking idea they're peddling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're a pretty strong contender in
Is
this.
that all they got?
That's
Right.
it. Woo! So we got Brian Blessed in Trim. We got Cliff Richard in Mistletoe Crime. We've got a real bear in Oh Bother. And we've got Vic and Bob in Booteries.
I think I've made my vote before I read everyone else's vote, and then a real bear as Winnie the Pooh. That came up and I was like, oh,
A bear that's been
that
forced
was
into
a
a
good
massive
one.
t-shirt. And it's really pissed off.
I like the idea as well of the credits rolling and it says Winnie the Pooh and then next to it just says a real bear.
After all the actors in a real bear.
I think maybe a real bear is my favourite, but I think I think Cliff Richard's going to win. I think he's going to win.
Well, no, this is when we have to decide. There's no winner.
Oh, we have to decide.
Everyone voted for.
Actually, I don't know what. Like, I think I'm going to go for Cliff Richard because I fucking love it. I'm taking away from the real bear. I'm going for Cliff Richard.
Pillman.
I said real bear. What?
Real Bear. So we got Real Bear and Cliff Richard.
Well, what's your pick? Because remember, there's no winner.
There's nothing in that.
It's a big question mark.
Yes, I'm the deciding
So you
vote.
could split the vote, or
You're
you
the
could.
deciding vote.
Well,
There's no answer
nothing in
inside.
let's decide. I'm going to let the panic decide for me. I'm going to say.
Say whatever you want, and that's
I'm
the
going
win.
to say. Real Bear. A real bear. There's a little question mark in there.
That's a real bear.
I'm going to go for Real Bear because
That's what a real bear would do. It can't write. It can only write question marks.
it's the little Ridley question.
Oh, yeah, well, it's Jim Carrey.
Really jam honey in the Riddler.
Well, there
That's
we go.
why he wins.
That's it. That decides it.
What a little wiener.
Does that mean best director's going to be Joel Schumacher?
One can only hope.
Right, ready? We're in the home stretch.
I'm ready.
Final three.
Ready.
Now it's down to me.
We've all had
Wooly
clues-
D.
we've all had clues and
down
willies.
to thee.
Down to thee. To a T. Let's
It's
see
Wooly D.
what it could be.
With-
It's Wooly D. Best title-y. Best title. We have some great nominations here.
Some
I
serious
think they
talent.
speak for themselves. Festony, again. I mean that's deserving. It's a maligned episode while we were making it.
Who came up with that? Was it Thompson?
I feel like it was Thompson.
I think that was just, it's so simple and so
Yeah.
effective. That's what I love
It's
about
definitely
it.
Thompson, because we were coming up with titles, and then I remember him going Festony. like, should we do that? And then we were all like, yes. It's much like Bon Garçon. We were just like, yes, that's the title.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Again.
you know it instantly as soon as you hear it.
Some
you're
are
like, that
really
is the
hard, but
title.
then other ones come out, and you're just like, that is the
Again,
one.
he had one of my favourite lines in that episode when I asked him what a fez was for. And he went, I think it's a hat. I was like, I know it's a hat.
I think it's a.
And then he said, it's what people American films put on people so that they know they're from, I don't know, from Morocco
yeah.
they're not
So,
from America
from
or something.
somewhere else.
Yeah, they put them in somewhere so they just know they're international. But yeah, okay, Festony.
That's
It's
yeah.
It's a strong
Go
title.
on.
All right, now we get to finally hear the full title of Get Ready, and this is the third attempt because me and Will did one, then you combined the two. Phil and I
I
forged
then-
the title, like the one ring out of the dwarf and the elven rings of mine and Will's.
And I made a little mistake
Oh.
in the middle. Well, at the start.
But we had to have it in there because we had to.
That's what I said.
So the second, which it's hard, but yeah, this is one of my favourites. Flibby Bibbits and On the Search for the Spoon. What is not magic, but everything else is versus the Wizards. Because we imagined that the wizards were like a biker gang. They were like Sons of Anarchy. They were wizards, but they were in like leather jackets and stuff. So that once again, just Flibby Bibbits and On the Search for the Spoon. What is not magic, but everything else is versus the Wizards.
And On the Search for
And on
With Eddie Izzard.
the spoon. What is not magic?
What is not magic, but everything else. It should have been everything else is.
Everything.
Everything else is.
It's so good.
That is one to beat.
That is a good name.
But then the next one is a strong contender. Bon Garçon.
Oh.
We've already discussed that, but
That's a perfect name.
that's a
for
great
that.
title. Great title.
Perfect.
And then finally, Deep Shit.
Yeah,
Deep Shit is a.
Look at that.
I feel like that was one that just came out of
It had a
someone.
few meanings. Deep shit as in you're in debt.
Deep shit as in you've been
Deep
hunted
shit
by
as
sharks.
a shark in there.
Water.
Water.
You know, you got Jason Statham up.
You got deep, you got shit. Put them
Yeah.
together.
Shitty deep.
Deep
Shitty
shit.
deep.
Shitty deep.
Did you say deep show?
Deep show.
It's an underwater peep show.
We do the deep show.
Fucking deep show. About the awkward life of fish, cohabiting fish.
They've got the fishes, but in their minds, they're narrated by Robert Webb and David Mitchell. and
that sounds like a Mitchell and Webb look.
exactly.
sketch.
And then they go back to the original Peep Show theme tune that's made out of fish going.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so
Nice.
right, and then whale sound doing the. Right, so we could do. I think out of those, or just even if you think of a different one, it's not like, what's your favourite title, Russ?
I think Flibby Bibbits.
Yeah.
And on.
And on. You have to say it all from memory.
And on the search for the spoon, which is not magical.
All is not magic.
Versus the Wizards.
That's very good. That's very good. Well remembered. Nice. Do you think that will win?
Yeah. Because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so right. Bongasson's got to be closer.
Bongasson is fun, but that's clever.
That's too
stupid
clever.
versus clever is a very hard one to judge with our lot.
Yeah.
Stupid always wins.
Considering it was us that voted,
it's probably stupid.
And we're all fucking dumb as shit.
What are we gonna go?
So Pilon, you can't vote. But what's your favourite?
My favourite is Bongasson.
Bongasson, and I think Flibby Bits is my favourite, and I think that will win because stupid does trump clever, and we see in Hollywood today. That is also true. Now, without further ado, let's go.
Oh, fuck!
Bongasson.
Oh, nice.
Well done, Bon.
We're subverting the stereotype.
Bongasson.
We're clever.
It's onwards and upwards from here, boys.
We're clever. We are clever.
Right, next one, Ross.
The penultimate.
Okay, so I've got best episode, and the contestants: Dr. Proctopus.
Nice.
As we've gone into extensive detail, a deep, nuanced story about a father and son,
and it is also
for the love of proctology.
And it's also stupid trumps clever.
And again, yes, and a lot of feces is involved. And the one that seems to be coming up the most, Time Twirlers.
Yeah.
A solid story, an interesting
very
tale.
possible that I voted for this as my top, or it's my second. It's one of my favourite episodes.
Yeah, it is a good episode.
I think that and Christmas are my favourite.
Well, you say that. That's on the list as well, coming this Christmas.
That is a good. I'm glad that got
Yes.
Along with the stunning, swelteringly interesting geriatrics and the life supports. And Arrive Alive!
Oh my god!
Hot on the heels of Time Twirlers.
I know it's had a bit of love, but I feel like American Wedding Pact is better than Arrive Alive.
Yeah.
American Wedding Pact that had some serious shit.
I think that it's not even. It's just because Arrive Alive is so nominated. I just can't believe it.
That's like the fifth. I don't think it's won anything.
Maybe it's time it did win.
But Time Twirlers has had a fucking shitload.
Time Twirlers is one about 3. Geriatrics won one. I guess
Geriatrics is I mean, I'm going to say personally, best episode, Geriatrics and Life Support, but that's me just being biased.
I think we can only say personal and say out of that, what would you guess is going to win?
I would say I reckon Dr. Proctopus has a seriously strong contender, but that's only because of how funny we find anuses, feces,
anything completely childish and
just anything to do with us is a guaranteed winner with us.
Exactly.
So I think that's the most likely to win. The one I'd most like to win is Geriatrics and Life Supports, because that's like we said before, is a beautiful, amazing personal journey.
Exactly.
Well, as we explained before, there was like different levels to it. There was funny, then there was sad, then there was funny. There was two levels.
Deeply human.
Deeply human and deeply humorous. And the two humes.
Exactly. All of the humes.
It was a double humour.
The thing is, everybody knows the geriatrics.
Everybody knows. Whether they're in music or not, everyone knows a geriatrics. They know that person who their dreams have slipped away, but they won't let go. They won't take the right elements of it, and they
won't grow old gracefully.
Exactly, they won't grow old gracefully, and they get in trouble, but they're lovable, and it's just it's a timeless character.
And we've all been to those beer festivals. We've all been to those beer festivals with the bands who think they're something when they're really not.
I don't know whether it's a bad feeling or just a feeling. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up being geriatric.
And as we've established with this film, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah, you will learn your lesson, and you'll get the best of both worlds eventually.
A maiden name will have her show.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
If you change the name, to nickname, you'll be alright.
Fucking nickname.
But so you can't nominate what will win. What's your favourite though? What was your favourite episode?
My favourite episode, Geriatric.
Geriatric.
Nice.
Okay, my favourite episode.
I did like the Christmas one.
My favourite episode is the Christmas one, and I think Time Twirlers will win.
I forgot that without for it.
I think Time Twirlers will win, but my favourite is the Christmas episode.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine to Christmas one.
Because
That
I
was
think
my favourite.
I think my favourite film is undoubtedly Geriatric, and Geriatric doing the episode, like physically doing it, makes me like it was great.
You don't want to tarnish it with a Cera award.
No, and it's got the most coherence, which is really the award of the night because it feels like it could be a real film.
Yeah, that's the furthest away from what we wanted to see.
This is the one that made me consistently laugh the most. I think
there was a lot of classic moments in the Christmas one.
Yeah,
there was Blast Away. There was Cliff Richard as Father Christmas.
Anta. There was Anti-Santa Claus.
Anta. It's called Anta.
so stupid.
And the fact that it was like we were cashing in on Christmas sort of box sets, and it was just we put 4 discs out for one film with 3 sections. We were just so we could charge more, and then the 4 6 bonus features, and that's why that's why it's coming this Christmas volume. Even though they were just short films, but we put them on different DVDs to make it out, so people will think, oh, this is like, I'll get that, like sort of. Oh, it's just like
7 hours of extras.
Yeah, and it's stitched together with like Ken Jeong doing like a sort of Hitchcock introductions, and he's also the Gremlin style sort of shop owner and stuff, and just everything was great on that. Even the odd one of the bunch, which was the Frosty and the Snowman, still ended up being quite good. Like it became a sort of family drama that just came out of nothing. Just sort of it's because Will's idea for the Skype and then freezing, and it became like a cool family drama sort of thing. And then meets Poltergeist because the Poltergeist lady turned up. There's this, and then the second. I think the first 2 are my favourite, but the whole it just makes me laugh so much.
It's just like a smorgasbord of 80s and 90s.
I think that's why
film sensibilities all rolled into one.
Because my section was. Christmas Past, wasn't it? But we just went as far back as the 90s.
Yeah, that's as far as we went.
Because we needed FedEx in there.
We needed FedEx. We needed
as far back as he could go.
We put it to 90s because we can line up with Tom Hanks. And then we got Macaulay Culkin at the right age as well.
Didn't he come back in...
Yeah, he was the
Lost in the Snow.
He was the owner. He was the inventor of the. He was like the Mark Zuckerberg type guy. He comes in to help them. But no, I think that one again. That is because it makes me laugh so much. That's kind of with Time Twirlers and all the sort of split ones. I think sometimes they're the ones that make me laugh the most because we're obviously having too many ideas, and it's kind of. Like it's just fun to go back. It feels like there's loads of us just laughing, sort of coming up with silly shit crammed in one. But it's not best film, but I think it's best episode.
Yeah,
it's my favourite episode. Coming to Christmas, and that's why I think Time Twirlers also will probably be a joint best one because it's got lots of shit. Lots. It doesn't make as much sense, but it's got a lot of shit going on. So
I think
so people would enjoy it. So I think that's my pick for winner. So much.
It's geriatrics and the Lice Awards.
I feel like,
holy fuck.
I feel like even though I voted against it in both ways, I feel like that's a win for quality.
Oh my goodness! There's hope in the world once again. The light of life is lit up.
The light of life.
Now we're down to the last category.
And fitting, isn't it?
Fitting.
Is it?
Oh, and if you remember from the beginning of the episode. We've decided to sack off Best Director.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Because there was no winner.
Because it's the boringest one.
We sacked it.
The director was just the last minute addition. I mean, let's just say it was.
Let's say it was the Daniels because they were mentioned several times.
Well done, the Daniels.
It was either Roland Emmerich or the Daniels. I'm inclined to say the Daniels.
Schumacher.
And it's the man,
the myth,
the myth.
The mystery.
The reason we're all here. It's Best performance by Michael Cera.
The sweet,
There he is.
pale-skinned child.
There he is up there.
I'm crying. I'm just thinking about
Playing with
Weeping
his,
tears of Cera.
he's up there playing with his yo-yo.
his name. It's George Michael Bluth. It's Scott Pilgrim. It's other names.
Michael Cera.
It's Mr. Superbad.
Toby Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. It's Player X.
Sorry.
Yeah, not Tobey Maguire. It's not Tobey Maguire in Molly's Game. It's all of those roles. It's Nick from Nick and Nora. It's Infinite Playlist. It's other films. It's the sausage from Sausage
awkwardness.
Party.
It's
Lovability.
It's adolescence.
And he's also these things, which is.
Oh, that was a good name.
Which, I don't know
liked
what
it.
the name was. So
And he's also these things.
So I didn't know what his name was in it. I don't think we did. That was the problem with stuff like this, is that we didn't name anyone really.
We just said it was Michael
So
Cera.
he's down as Weird Man in American Wedding Packs.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he was the first choice for the male version of the Psycho.
Yeah.
And that picture you put for the poster, if people look it up on our Twitter, who's listening to it, it's just perfect with his little tash.
Shit in the style.
little tash. And he's...
Why did he think that was a good idea?
No.
Yeah.
To cast for the Weird Man.
This one as well, I think he does need a name because otherwise this spoils the film. Which is the first mention of this film.
Is it Nan and Grandad?
It's the killer in Nan and Grandad.
No, Nan and
He
Grandad.
shouldn't be called the killer.
He was the cook. He was like he was either the assistant or he ended up in the kitchen. So I think he was like the assistant chef or something.
Yeah.
Chef de partie.
Ah, that's his name, Chef de Partie.
But he didn't have a nose or something.
No, Clint Eastwood is his granddad, and he did the trick of got your nose when he was a kid, and it traumatised
gave
him.
it back.
So he thought he didn't have a nose, even though he did.
He had to kill people.
So he had harboured a hatred for old. This is an episode. Yeah, that I wish it'd been nominated more. I actually really liked this episode. It was.
It's his first nomination.
It's an X-Files reunion, and it was.
There's a surprising deepness and touching and it had kind of human element to it.
Good cameos because you had the Cruisers, Tom Cruise, Terry Crews. We had the Rolling Stone were just playing the boat, so they joined.
Cruisers.
Like Keith, the Mick Jagger joined the crew of Mystery Solvers. And there was the scene where the killer would like he had a chainsaw because his idea wasn't to be quiet. He wanted to scare them to death. And then
he wanted to give them all heart attacks.
He wanted to give them all heart attacks because he'd been so traumatised as a youth.
Fucking scared them all to death.
And then, my favourite bit is when we saw that it was like they were using the kitchen because that's why he became chef. They were using the freezer as a morgue to keep all the bodies. And like Gillian Anderson was just there, sort of, she's at a loose ends, all dead ends in the case. And Michael Cera's there talking to her, and then he slips over. And his fingers go out like that motion that you do when you got your nose, and then he falls back on one of the bodies, and it clicks into place with the nose, and that's when she knows it's like it's dead because they couldn't identify because there were no fingerprints on the body. There were only knuckle prints, and that's when she realised. Yeah, I think this is because I think it was I think it was pretty good.
What?
I think it's an underrated.
So deep.
What I realised should have happened, he should have actually lost his nose at the end.
But he did.
Did he?
Because she was they were fighting, and then like she got like a ladle, like was trying to sort of look because he was started going like, they took my nose. I'm like, no, you've got a nose. And he looked at himself in the mirror for the first time and saw that he had a nose. And he just went mad and went, no, I haven't. And he started digging it out with a spoon. Yeah. And she was like, no. And he started to dig it, like defacing his sort of face with it.
So good.
Yeah. It was so. Yeah, that was a good. I think that was the one after American Wedding Pack. That was a nice little two-handed.
That was a thoroughly enjoyable one.
They're both
really.
psychopathic Ceras, but both good ones.
Yeah,
and absolutely, they've both been nominated. They were both quality
They're good
roles.
enough.
For
I mean,
Cera.
I personally, I thoroughly enjoyed them, but I didn't think they'd make the shortlist. But
Yeah.
apparently,
This
I'm
one,
glad they did.
this one I do agree with. Sock in a Sockalypse.
fucking sock.
I mean, as we said,
For fuck's sake.
sock.
He wanted to be a sock, didn't he? Or he just.
He's just like that kind of like middle character, like someone. I don't know. I can't think of. I know exactly who he is, but I can't think of any examples of him. But he's like that kind of like. He's not a main character. He's like a side character who the main character has to like. He has to like kind of like teach or train or something, or he has to mentor him. And he doesn't. And then he eventually learns something that becomes a linchpin of the fucking climax. But he's not a main character throughout any of it, and that's who fucking Sock is in that story. And he played it brilliantly.
It's sock. Just a metaphor for sock. They're not the main. They're not the main part of your wardrobe. But they're essential.
Exactly.
Socks are
You'd
essential.
miss them if you didn't have them.
If you're wearing a pair of trousers with smart shoes, where are your socks?
Where are your fucking?
You
It's
look like
not-
a fucking hipster.
You're like a
Your
fucking
feet-
idiots.
Your feet
Idiots.
stink.
You fucking stupid
Right.
shit.
Get out of my
The
house.
the final nominee,
Oh, final. Oh my
which
god.
I completely
Jesus
forgot
Christ.
about until I just saw this.
Jesus.
Which was he played a mince pie in Coming This Christmas.
All right, this was
Volume 1.
This was my vote, and I can't believe we.
Fucking mince pie.
I can't believe we talked about Coming This Christmas. We didn't talk about it. It's because of what it was. I think we decided. I think we mentioned Ron Howard might direct this, and I think because we mentioned Ron Howard, I thought of The Simpsons. I thought of and his best friends are talking pie. Like, you know, when he does the film pitch, and he's like, well, he has to, and he has this terrible decisions of if he has to live or die. His best friends are talking pie. Sold. And so I think I had that in my head, and I just mentioned it's got, because that was another Christmas thing. It's got to be a claymation Christmas special.
Yeah.
So we have a claymation mince pie who's Cliff Richard's best friend who talks, and is voiced by Michael Cera.
Talking mince pie.
And I think that says it all, and that is my pick.
That is good.
And that is I'm just going to double down and say that should win.
That is a
And
good.
if I
that's a
lose,
seriously
if I
good
lose,
use
I
of
lose on,
Michael
I
Cera.
lose on a hill I feel proud to stand on. I die on a hill that I feel like
You're
yeah,
there
it's
with
great.
with your sword held high.
With my mince pie.
You're
held
brave
aloft.
hearting. You're
Yeah.
brave hearting.
Yeah. What about Ross? What do you think's gonna win?
Let me look at the nominees again. Let me see. I think I'm going to say I would like it to be Sock, but I'm going to say I think it's Weird Man.
Because American Wedding Band's been come up a few times, so
I think that's just it's a basic classic.
it's a classic Cera role, really.
Yeah.
Find out.
And then
That's the sort of thing
honourable
because everyone wants to see Cera as a fucking serial killer. A
serial killer.
Oh, and the winner is Michael Cera in American Wedding Band.
Oh,
As
the
the weird
serial killer.
Well done.
Serial killer. Well done, Mike.
Well done.
Congratulations, son. You were going to be in it somewhere, but
Yeah.
you made it.
You
You
made
did
it.
it, bro.
You finally made it. Michael
Well
Cera,
done,
everyone. Michael Cera, everyone.
Well done,
He's
well done. What grace.
What?
beauty.
Such grace.
Poise, dignity.
We
So much dignity.
can all learn.
C is for confess. E is for excellent.
R is for ravishingly
Right.
hairless.
And A. A is for us.
A-hole.
And on that
Arse.
bombshell, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
What
guys.
monumental first Cera Awards.
Well, it's fitting that it's almost 2.5 hours because the Oscar's like 4 hours. Obviously.
Well, that's what I realised, kind of, halfway through. I
Oscars
thought,
light.
oh, no, the award shows are long.
They're always too
That's
long.
what people are listening for. That's
Yeah.
what they want. They want
Fine.
plenty of bollocks.
Yeah, let's put this at the end, and then people will know that we
Yeah.
know that it's really long.
You know when you kind of like plan something and then you get pissed and it just goes out the window.
It doesn't go according to, does it? It doesn't
Yeah,
go
it just
according
goes-
You
to.
just got to make do.
Fuck.
You can come on, Bill. Don't have a think.
Right.
Ladies and
Go on,
gentlemen,
you got this.
ladies and gentlemen, please.
Mr. Lou Bega. Fucking Mambo number 5.